Happy holidays, everybody. Welcome to Hip Hop Talks. I hope you didn't get coal in your stocking like Sean did, even though Sean deserved it.
I don't even understand anymore.
Out the gate.
Out the gate, man.
Click like and subscribe, everybody. The tribe is almost at 2,000 followers on YouTube. Now, somehow we keep doing over 2,000 views every single show, guys, but we don't have 2,000 subscribers yet. So click like, subscribe, share. We're at the end of our 2024 year, so we're going to be doing a little year in review. I don't have much to say. How was your holiday, fellas? AG, how was your holiday?
It was blessed. Blessed time to be with, family and everything, and did a lot of good eating, a lot of good food, but it was hella busy. I'm like, if tired was a person, that's me, man. I'm a lot of running the past couple of days and making sure to tap in with a lot of family and stuff. But it's a blessed time. Crazy time, but blessed time.
No doubt.
Sean, what about you, man? How was your holiday?
It was good, man. We hosted this year, so family came through, got them in and got them out, man. It's always good to be able to when you can provide for the family and just have holidays like this, especially during these times. You always take a step back and realize how blessed you are, man. So it's a blessing to be able to give, man.
Mm-hmm.
Don't take it for granted. Don't take it for granted at all.
Always.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're gonna kick it off, man. My vibe is actually a little sports talk. I was thinking, like, fellas, we actually haven't had a little sports talk in a while. In the normal world that we grew up in, the NFL season would actually be ending this weekend, but there's now a 17-game season. But I just wanted to revisit a couple of things. I believe at the start of this season, somebody picked Patrick Mahomes to win MVP. Somebody picked Joe Burrow to win MVP. And somebody picked Josh Allen to win MVP. And that would be me. And when I picked Josh Allen, both of you laughed at me. You laughed.
I don't know if I laughed.
Okay,
Yeah.
you didn't laugh.
Yeah.
Sean definitely laughed. AG, you actually said it was a nice pick.
Yeah, I rock with Josh Allen. I don't know if I laugh. I have to check the tape.
You laughed, but remember what I told you guys. I said I want to pick Lamar. I was like, but he needs to win a ring, and I don't want him to have 3 MVPs and no rings, and I'm worried about him getting a ring because of this defense. Well, here we are. It looks like he might be getting MVP number 3, which means I think if he wins MVP number 3, he has to close the deal this year, guys. What do you think?
You don't think Saquon got a shot?
No.
He's playing the NFC East, though, so he plays the Cowboys and the Giants. So that's like playing a Division 1A team and then playing like a Division 1 AA team.
Yeah, I feel like he has. I feel like he has an outside chance, but yeah, Lamar looks like he's suited to win it again. But I will say, Coop, my guy that I picked, Burrows, had an MVP type season. The team just didn't get the W's on the board.
I mean, if you actually look numbers wise, Burrow's the only guy really competing with Lamar numbers wise, because Josh Allen numbers wise isn't competing with Lamar.
Yeah, Burrows is playing like the best quarterback in the league, really.
I mean, no, Lamar has the number 1 quarterback rating, QBR, 2nd in touchdowns, 3rd in passing yards, 5th in completion percentage. Like, he's pretty much top 5.
He's Lamar.
Yeah. Like, nothing against Burrow, but it's looking like MVP number 3, but it needs to be ring number 1. And it looks like the ring, when ring number 1, he's going to have to go through Buffalo and then Kansas City. Can he do that, guys?
Do you think he can?
Short answer, no.
I think he can. I think he can. What Buffalo hasn't shown us what they can do in the playoffs, right? They've always crumbled in the playoffs. The only team that's showing us, of course, is Kansas City. Josh Allen's playing outstanding without a true number 1 wide receiver. He's making everyone around him better. That team is clicking really well, but that defense is suspect. Lamar got Derrick Henry. If Derrick Henry can get rolling and they can keep him rolling, he has a good chance. That defense, though, man, is shaky. They're up and down. They're up and down.
Here's what I think. I think that Baltimore is just a bad matchup for Buffalo. And so I'm not worried about him going into Buffalo because I feel like Derrick Henry in that Buffalo like front seven, it's like he looks at them and he's like, okay, this is $150 today. You know, so I'm not worried about him going into Buffalo. So this is really more about Lamar's ability to go into Kansas City. Do you all think he can go into Kansas City and outduel Mahomes? Because I think that's what it's going to take. He's going to have to like put up 35 in Arrowhead in January.
When they go head to head, who always outplays who though?
That's a fact. It's the Kansas City defense, the equalizer, man. That Kansas City defense turns it up a different notch, and they played really well this year. And that's the only reason Mahomes is not considered in the MVP race, because that defense is the MVP of that team. They're playing.
Mahomes has a subpar season, if you ask me.
That's what I'm saying. He has a subpar season, but that defense is having a phenomenal season.
Right.
They're really scoring 20 points a game, and that defense keeping teams under check.
That's how they got all the W's, you know.
How about this? I don't think we've seen somebody that's in the GOAT conversation of quarterbacks in their prime have a season like Mahomes is having, but the team is remarkably well put together, well ran, and the defense is phenomenal. So I think it kind of like gets past all of that. He's still a closer, like his closing skills are still as good as this side of Brady. But everything else hasn't been as good outside of about 3 or 4 games. He's had about 3 or 4 games where you're like, no, that's Mahomes. And the rest of the games have just been kind of like, okay, he's been okay in those games. He's just closed those games.
Right. Yeah. He's not the games for you. That's how Brady was. Brady was behind a phenomenal defense in New England.
Early Brady. Yeah, early Brady.
In late Brady, they have flashes of greatness. He wasn't lighting the board up all the time. But he didn't lose the game for you. He didn't have costly turnovers, and he was poised in the clutch.
I feel like the last time the Patriots had a great defense was that 2016, and I feel like when Peyton Manning figured them out in the AFC Championship game, like defensively, they were just never quite the same. They had some good defenses, some really good ones, some borderline great ones, but like that was like the last time they had like a great defense. Like that 2007 defense was more of a timely defense with like savvy veterans and Pro Bowl and like Hall of Fame players. Like they weren't necessarily always great. Like teams did put points up on them, you know. But
but they weren't breaking. They weren't a defense that just totally got dominated or broke. Like Brady didn't have to go out there and put up 30 points to overcome defense failures.
Oh, no. He didn't have to do that. He still put up 30 though.
Right. And that defense gave him many opportunities. They gave him chances to have more plays, more series to run through. They weren't great. They weren't phenomenal as 2007 or what have you, but they were still a defense that kept teams in check. That's what Mahomes got. He got a defense that keeps teams in check, where he doesn't have to force to throw up 30 points or 40 points a game.
They always put Brady in position to close the game. Absolutely. So even if he had a bad game, he always had an opportunity to close out, which he always delivered on. I hate to say it because I wasn't a Brady fan, but Mahomes is in a similar type position.
Yeah, so I think what this really comes down to is that can somebody actually go into Kansas City and go up 14 points? Because what we're pretty much saying, if the game's going to be nip and tuck, we know what's going to happen at the end. And so essentially it needs to be a situation where a team gets up on them early and then we're like, okay, how do they respond? So other than that, so you guys pretty much have the Chiefs is what you're saying.
Oh, yeah. Because I think Lamar got to decide what type of quarterback he'd want to be in that type of game. You know what I'm saying? Does he want to be the quarterback, to pass and get everybody else involved, or do he want to get a lot of rushing yards on the board? And I think, that's something he struggles with a lot of times in the big games to find that identity.
I think in Buffalo, he gets to be whoever he is, but if they're going to win in Kansas City, Lamar actually doesn't need to do anything but turn around and hand the ball to Derrick Henry 25 to 30 times, because that's how you beat Kansas City in Kansas City. You don't beat Kansas City in Kansas City by actually throwing the ball 25 to 30 times. You beat them by letting the 250-pound running back pound on that tough defense, and you test their will, and you see if they bend or don't break.
But that's what I'm saying. If he tries to get as many yards himself as Henry getting, then we got a problem.
They got a problem.
I mean, that hasn't been a problem all year, though. That hasn't been a problem all year. All his yards have been like very organic this year.
We'll see.
It's gonna be tough.
All right. Remember, I remember we were here, fellas. Let's get to some super chats, and then we're going to get to some anniversaries, and then we're going to get to our top 10 of 2024. CJ the Kid with the $5 super chat. Finally, early. Hope you guys are all good. Happy holidays, fellas. Happy holidays, CJ.
You see that?
Yeah.
Ill Magic. I watched a tarot card reader do a reading on Kendrick Drake, and wow, a lot of interesting information came up. I don't play with that bumperclad witchcraft jazz, okay?
That's wild.
Watching the tarot card rapper is crazy.
Play those games.
Yeah.
Don't play those games.
If I was into that tarot card stuff, I would have wasted on knowing what was going on with them cats.
Let me know when Primo and Nas coming out, Mr. Jeez.
I don't want to know that. I don't want to know that bad. 007, what up? Queens get the money. Muddy Waters 2 was too long. What an interesting year in hip hop. 2025 may bring clarity to where things stand with Cole, Kenny, Drake. Nah. These dudes is ambiguous like Prince's wardrobe.
Is that ambiguous or androgynous? Which I think it's the wrong word, Coop.
No. Ambiguous, confusing. No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Confusion of meanings, yes.
Yeah. Well, I think it was confusing for us, but I think Prince knew what he was doing when he was stepping out.
Yeah.
It was just confusing for us.
Absolutely. That's what I meant, not for him.
You still got the gloves, though?
The gloves are on the wall, actually, now. I actually put the gloves up on the
All
wall.
right.
Sean, you're safe for another day. All these hoes getting in Lake Minnetonka, though.
Yo. Cool wearing gloves at Target for Christmas is crazy.
Whoa. Nordstrom.
Oh.
Nordstrom. Ridiculous. Watch yourself.
As long as you don't got the jeans in Nordstrom, that's all we.
Like, yo, I cut the seat out. He got the seat. He got the seat.
Let's go to the anniversaries, which, and thanks for the transition. 007 actually involved Redman. Redman has a new project out, guys. Quick thoughts on what do we think of Muddy Waters 2?
I think the super chat said a lot of it. I think it was too long. You know, I listened to it a time and a half with all the busyness I had over the past couple of days. 32 tracks is a little much, but you know, me and Sean talked behind the scenes, and the runtime itself is not long. It's about an hour, 20 minutes and some change, but I do think it was a lot of the fat could have been trimmed off this album, and it could, if it was cut down to even 20 tracks. I think we got a top 10 project of the year on our hands if you trim some of the fat, but it's a lot of stuff on here that I do love. And Redman spit.
He's spitting. Never had an issue with Redman spitting though. Never had an issue with that. Always up the bar. Always up the bar. I like the project. Yeah, it's a lot of songs. It's a lot of songs, a lot of skits. It's a lot going on with it. It's 30 listed, of course, with skits and everything included, but I think it's like an hour, 10 minutes, the length of an album. So it's not like long songs are in play that you're dealing with. It's just the gravity of what you're looking. You're looking at that 30 number in 2024, and you're like, okay, that's a lot. That's a lot to consume. But it's vintage Redman. You got the skits. I think he gave all his fans everything that he's been for the past some odd years, right? In this album. It's just a lot. It's bloated, right? It's bloated with a lot of different things. You take those skits off and you focus on the music itself, you trim it down probably like 23, 24 easily. And now you can start really looking at that album a different way. I thought that Redman sounded great. He sounded the same. His voice hasn't changed. Tone hasn't changed. You still got the comedy in his lyrics. You still got just the punchlines. You got the confidence. You have everything that you want in a Redman album, in my opinion. Muddy Waters 2, again, it goes back to we talked about, Dre and Snoop doing Missionary. You're talking about a follow-up to a classical album. So eventually your ear is going to be like, I want to hear fragments of the predecessor. And you don't get all of that. But I still think it's a dope album. I think Redman did his thing.
I think he was in such a rare zone in Muddy Waters. I think it's one of those albums that no matter where you have it ranked in the canon of hip hop classics, it's one of those rap albums that kind of define a rapper being in their zone, quote unquote. You know, like everybody has their zone where they get hot. Like Klay Thompson has a certain zone when he gets hot. You know what I'm saying? Jamal Crawford, like, you know, when those guys start cooking, it's like, oh, when he gets in his zone, it's like, oh no, he can go for 50 with the best of them. You know what I'm saying? I think like Muddy Waters is that for Redman. That's his that's his 50 point, like, you know, Kobe 40 point game in a row, like, type of streak. And so anytime you have an album like that, much like a Purple Tape, a Supreme Clientele, DMX with its Dark and Hell is Hot, like if you were making sequels to these projects, the expectations are going to be pretty lofty. I do think for the length of time that it took for him to actually, you know, come out with this project and how much time has passed, I like the fact that he admittedly is a trapped in the 90s nigga adapting to the modern day hip hop times. There's something about him being funny about that that makes this album more enjoyable than your average OG rapper's album. I do think it's a good album. I do think it's too damn long, even though he does an excellent job of understanding today's times, because a lot of these records are only 2 minutes long, which is why the album is only an hour and some change with this many tracks, but it's still too many damn tracks. But there's a lot of heat on here, and I'm not sure if it would crack my top 10, possibly, but definitely has top 20 possibilities if the fat was trimmed some, or maybe even without the fat trim. So
can I do a couple rebuttals to some things you said? What Sean said first, like with the missionary comparison, I do think it's better than missionary. I think it delivered on that front, as far as like sequels are concerned.
That's not saying a lot.
And then the as far as the time frame, because I was talking about the tracks being too long too in our Discord, and shout out to Aaron Myers. I think he pointed out, you know, well, I don't care that it's 32 tracks. It's been 15 years since the last Redman album, and I was like, damn, I didn't realize it had been that long. But you know, he's right. So, and it was one of the songs, I can't remember what it was, but he's talking about, you know, if you you know, people tripping if you go in a store without your mask on. So it like it begged the question, like, damn, some of these songs might have been recorded over the past like handful of years. You know what I mean? Because like, you know, mask mandates ain't been a thing for a minute. So, you know, I just think it's like you know, where he was sitting on a lot of material and kind of put it all together. That's just my guess. But it, like I said, it's a lot of stuff on here that I love. I love, you know what I'm saying, Light It Up. You know, that was a Brick City, Jersey posse cut that would had everybody, anybody and everybody you could think of, you know. I thought that was a dope joint. And yeah, man, I just into the skits, I was gonna ask Sean, what if somebody opposed your view on it? Redman came from the skit era. So, absolutely. You know, and that was a big part of his stick, you know what I mean, on all the albums that he did, a lot of the skits, because they tied into, you know, the songs, especially like Superman Lover and joints like that. So do you think he should have deterred away from the skits this time around, you know?
No.
Or
No. I wasn't saying that, and I apologize.
I'd say make the skits part of the song, because if the song's only 2 minutes anyway, then I think they could be integrated within the song.
Absolutely. Again, I think this album was for the fans. I think this album was really for him and his fans. I don't think this was trying to insert myself into the 2024 algorithm. I don't think this was, you know, trying to insert myself into the new wave of hip hop, or the way things are being done in hip hop today. This to me was an ode, a slight ode to the way he make music, he make albums. Part of his album, you got the Superman Lover in there. You got the funny skits in there. You got the parody in there. You got all of these things in there that you're known for Redman. If he did not do that, the fans who love Redman would say, why didn't he put that in there? Where is the Superman skit? Where is the parody? Where is the funny stuff? Where is that jovial stuff from Redman? So I think this was an ode to the fans and to his core audience, to be quite honest.
Fair enough.
Nah, I could have kept a lot of them skits. We're going to get to some super chats. Ill Magic, would y'all like to listen to a Black Thought album produced by Alchemist and Hit Boy? Ill Magic, I would listen to a Black Thought album produced by J. Cole and Big Crit. Hell yeah, I would listen to it. Hit Boy and Alchemist did it. That's right. Being shady and petty. I gotta be consistent. I started off the year being shady and petty, and that's how I'm gonna end the year. Next super chat. Our man, $4.99. Peace. Redman should have trimmed this album down to 12 songs and have it solely produced by Madlib. I do like the Redman Madlib idea. Because Madlib gets funky. You know what I'm saying?
It does.
Funk Lock the Spot? Absolutely. CJ the Kid with the $5 super chat. Light It Up made me proud to be from Brick City. Proud to hear it, CJ. All right, fellas. Y'all want to go over anniversaries, or y'all want to go ahead and slide the anniversaries to the back end and get to the meat of the topic?
Yeah, let's get to the back end. Let's get to the reason for the evening.
All right. So, gentlemen, we all have our top 10 albums of 2024. So, of course, with the three of us having three separate lists, there's only one good list. That's my list, but we're going to go ahead and let you two guys talk about your list.
No,
let's talk about your list.
Let's talk about your list. You got the good
list. Let's talk about my list.
Let's pick your list.
You'll be so proud of me, Sean. There's no Glorilla on my list. There's no Glow on my list. You'd be so happy. It was close. It was almost there. Almost there. On the cusp. On the cusp. Almost.
Nah, no comment.
Almost.
That's not who you are, G.
But yeah, so how are we gonna do this, fellas? Are we gonna do a hip hop talks top 10 list and kind of like trim the fat of each other's list, or see what we got in common?
Let's see what we all agree on.
Yeah.
Okay. I personally, and it isn't a great year, but it is a deep year with a lot of what I like to call solid projects. It's like, no, that project was good. I can't really hate on the project. The project was just solid. And a year of solid projects, when I went back and listened to everything over the last couple of weeks, fellas, just felt like Freddie Gibbs made the best project. That's how I feel. You Only Die Once is the best album this year, in my opinion. I mean, it's not missing anything. And I actually started thinking about Freddie, and I realized, Freddie is the best album maker of this generation, because I was actually trying to think of the last time that Freddie made an album that wasn't an album of the year contender when he made it. Think about that. When's the last time Freddie didn't make an album that was easily like a top 5, top 10 album that year, even if it wasn't album of the year? It's been like a decade since that happened, fellas.
It's been a while.
It's been a long time. Like, think about it. Soul Separately. No, that's an album of the year contender. That's a top 5 album that year. Shit, that's a top 2 album that year, in my opinion. Alfredo, same thing. Top 3 or 4. Pinata, Bandana. It's been a long time since Freddie hasn't even made an album of the year contender. He's the best album maker of this generation. He made my album of the year.
Yeah, I have the same one at number 1 for me.
Sean?
I do too. I think Freddie, to me, the most complete album.
Yeah, it's Fred.
It has legs. His album has legs.
It does. The replay value. It's entertaining to go back to and to ride to. Yes. The bar work is there. The song structure is there. The replay value is there. Freddie knows how to make a dope ass rap album. It's actually becoming. Remember, like, do y'all remember that moment before it like flipped, when we used to have those conversations about how underrated Black Thought was as an MC?
Mm-hmm.
Freddie is that for album making for this generation. Like, his album making skill is so vastly underrated. He's one of the best. He's the best album maker of this generation, which makes him one of the best album makers of all time. Like, catalog wise, his catalog is pretty damn tough, guys. It's not still. It's not. It doesn't have the high end stuff like a Mobb Deep or he's somewhere. He is somewhere in Push's territory to me, because he's a better album maker than Push, even though I don't think Push is the superior MC, but Freddie's the superior album maker. No, he's the. I think
you have to clarify Pusha solo, because if you count the clip stuff, then that's where Pusha may have an edge. No,
Pusha has the edge overall because of the clip stuff. But if it was solo, I always tell you, it's like, as much as I love some lyrics, I'm going to take the guy that makes the album. So even as much as I love Push, if we're just talking solo to solo career, I'm taking Freddie's career over Push's. And everybody knows how I feel about Push, but yeah, if you're putting the clip stuff in, the clip stuff is next level to me though. So
yeah, Freddie got it. So I guess we're starting at the top with You Only Die Once. So yeah,
okay.
that joint was
Hold
hard.
on. We got Michael Williams with the $5 super chat. Freddie has arguably amassed the most impressive catalog over the past decade. Correct. Pinata, Alfredo, You Only Live Twice, Fetty, Bandana, So Separately, Yoda. Yeah. You Only Die Once. Yeah.
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 It's almost like, and you know, Coop, me and you hold Scarface real high. Scarface's discography, Scarface has one of the best discographies ever, and the higher tier albums out of his discography still don't get talked about in the annals of like classics or near classic albums as much as the other greats. So in that respect, not saying that Freddie is as good of MC as Scarface or anywhere close for that matter, but his discography has the quality the same way Scarface's does and doesn't get talked about enough.
He's not the MC that Scarface is, because Scarface is one of the 10 greatest MCs of all time, in my opinion. 5 personally. But I have always told people that the closest thing that I've heard to Scarface in this modern day is Freddie Gibbs on Alfredo. It's very, very Scarface-like to me on Alfredo. Like Mr. Scarface is back, Diary Mr. Scarface, like that guy. Like no, Freddie sound like that.
But even then, that's kind of my point, because if you're talking about the greatest albums of all time, I mean, how much do you hear, you know, the Diary come up in conversation, Untouchables, like, you know, The Fix, Mr. Scarface, you don't hear about them, but they're top tier albums.
All jokes aside, as far as like rap pundits on any level are concerned, I'm the only person that I hear referencing the Diary in that regard, if you really want to know the truth.
I don't know what y'all talking about right now, but I'll let y'all have that. Y'all going crazy talk now, but
yeah, that's why Sean started echoing, because he was hating on Freddie.
Right. I'm not hating on Freddie. I'm just saying you're putting him in the same vein as Mr. Scarface. Yeah, y'all going crazy.
No. I'm not saying the album is good as Scarface albums. It's just the sentiment of it being under the radar, like under the radar classic material.
Yeah,
for this era.
Like a lot of people, like Last of a Dying Breed dropped and nobody talked about it. That's a brilliant rap album.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Like Scarface does have brilliant rap albums, and he'll just drop a brilliant rap album and people won't even like.
And no way am I comparing Freddie to Scarface, but it's just like, you know, to put out great material in it, you know, fall on deaf ears like that. I think that's very Scarface like.
There's a lot that I see what you're saying. Because he's missing the it factor. There's a factor that he just doesn't have. He doesn't have that it factor. Because everything you all are saying about Freddie, he should be named a little bit more closely to the Coles and to the Kendricks and to the Drakes based on catalog. If we're basing it only based on catalog, his catalog stands up with theirs, according to how.
No, it's better than all theirs. I think the only one that's a conversation is Kendrick's.
Yeah, his catalog is better than Drake and Cole's.
Is his high end as high as their high end?
No. No, in the end, it's better. Their front end is better than
top heavy.
Yeah. But what counts more in today's hip hop?
Commercial success, and Freddie don't got that.
That's definitely where he's losing the same battle that Cool G Rap and Pusha T and Griselda.
There you go. Lost. Yeah, Cool G Rap is a good example. That might be a better example than Scarface.
Yeah. He's very. I mean, because here's the thing. He's not as lyrically inclined as G Rap either, but you know, the ethos of the material is very G Rap, Scarface-ish, which kind of hurts. Like Scarface was still even kind of an anomaly, because Scarface would go gold and go platinum. Like Scarface got gold and platinum, like hanging on the wall, like in multiples.
Yeah, and I think that part of that's the era. Like Freddie is a throwback to our era in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
he would have thrived more.
I think in our era, he's a Mobb Deep selling type of artist. So he's gonna go
gold artist. Yeah,
borderline. Like depending on the album. Like, how about this? I feel like Sold Separately would have probably been his murder music, so it probably would have went platinum in its day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. No.
I can't relate what y'all saying right now. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I don't see it.
He would be a gold. He would be a gold standard artist. like in the same wheelhouse as like.
What? No, I'm tired of trying to please this moment. Go to your number 2. Go to your number 2. AG, what you got at number 2?
This is my second cross, right or wrong.
I got Rhapsody. Please Don't Cry at my number 2.
Hold on one second. Brandon Rogers with the $10 holla. I'm mad they took off Anniversary on You Only Die Once. I guess the sample didn't clear, but it's still a fire album without. It is a fire album without it, but that was.
They took that off?
They took it off. And
I haven't listened to it in a few weeks. They took, damn, that's crazy. That was
Puff didn't take that too well, I guess.
If you would have listened to it, like the way you wax poetic about it, you have known that. But I know.
The way AG just wrote his face is priceless.
But yeah,
AG
it's still my number 1, but that hurts, man.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think for us in the framework of it, we have already attached that song to that album, and so even though they officially are taking it off, it's like we're still counting it the same way I'm still counting that Braveheart Party.
I knew you was gonna say that.
I'm not letting it go. I refuse to let it go. You have no business making an album that good with records like that and allowing that record.
Still a classic. Still 5 mics.
Wow, it is.
Definitely thought about taking a quarter of mic. Like we need to like bang one of the mics. Like it need to be 5 mics, but one of the fifth mic need to be malfunction because of Braveheart Party. That's how terrible.
People only do that with Stillmatic. I could go through a ton of classic albums that got one of those.
Well, we're talking about that album.
Yeah.
That one. It's ridiculous. I agree with you, AG. I got Please Don't Cry by Rhapsody as my number 2 as well. We are in unison once again. Sean, what about you? Here come the hater.
No, I'm not gonna hate because I had Rhapsody at number 1. I personally would have Rhapsody over Gibbs album. Personally.
Really?
Yes, personally. I would have Rhapsody album over Gibbs album.
I'm not mad at that, but it's 3 of us and you lost the vote 2-3. So.
Yeah, I get it.
It was so ruthless how he delivered that to you. I thought we were about to take a vote. When he said
he was waiting.
I thought we were voting.
Because he was waiting for that because of what I said earlier. That's how he operates, man. And y'all seen it. And y'all don't even acknowledge it.
He was like, hold on. 1, 2, 3. No.
He was just waiting.
He waited.
He was waiting.
I will not confirm nor deny.
So hold on. Yeah. So you have Rhapsody at number 1 and Gibbs at number 2.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing because I don't want to be a prisoner of what we just heard. Because I do think that as time went on this year, the Rhapsody album it lost a little bit of its luster. And I think that goes to say with a lot of the albums that we had so far this year. I think a lot of these albums just over a short span of time lost.
I think that's the year. The year. That's the type of year it is. It's one of those funny years where all the albums kind of had that kind of feeling, though.
No separation, no staying power, nothing that was significantly, evidently above the fray.
Correct. Because I think it's tough. Because I can say GNX will be better than Rhapsody album for me.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
And I think I don't know if it's because it's more recent.
I would be mad at that.
Of course.
No, I wouldn't be mad because GNX is my number 3. Spoiler alert, but I got GNX at 3. So
okay, you're gonna stop that? Okay.
And I'll be honest, for my palate, I would have GNX over on Gibbs. Just for me. Because of the entertainment of it.
Well, it looks like you're gonna lose the vote on this placement, Coop.
Of course.
So it's gonna be in the top 3 somewhere. That gives me joy. I ain't gonna lie.
You have this album in your top 5. You have this album in your top 5. Both of you have this album in your top 5.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's my number 3.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Man in the Garden.
Glory.
Yeah.
Man, Glory D's, nigga.
Bubble up. The Coop disc.
That was a Coop disc.
What's a Coop disc?
I don't give a fuck.
Didn't you say when the week that this dropped on our show? Didn't you say that this was a top 5 album?
You did.
because nothing that's come out after that's been better.
Nothing.
Okay, so I've been going back and doing some listening to some things.
Of course.
I actually put Paisley Dreams at number 3. I think it's the best produced album this year by far, beat and production wise. And Game's bar work, as far as mic performance, is the most underrated mic performance this year. The album's pretty stellar. It really is. And unlike Freddie's album, they actually got to keep their fly ass gangster rap sample. You know?
That's why
I have it in my top 10, but it's lower. It's a lot lower.
Okay, so
that's why I'm struggling, fellas. I'm struggling.
So GNX is your number 3. Paisley Dreams is my number 3. Sean, what's your number 3?
The Force.
The Force. I have the Force and GNX tied at 5.
I have the Force at 4.
So we're all high on the Force.
Yeah.
Yes,
so we all have the Force in our top 5, but we all don't have GNX necessarily in our top 5.
Sean just said he did. Sean said he had GNX over
Nobody
Raptor.
asked you, AG. Stay out of this.
That's okay. My opinion reigns supreme. I don't gotta be asked.
Yeah, man. Y'all seen it piece by piece. It unfolds.
Piece by piece.
Piece by piece.
Ridiculous. We have super chats to get to.
This is tough.
Andrew, yeah, it is tough. Andrew Williams. I'm sorry. I just don't see what y'all see about Gibbs. LOL. Y'all think he can beat Drake in the verses? If no, then
Hell no.
have a better catalog.
Versus is a different conversation.
Yeah, I don't think Gibbs can beat.
So here we go. There we go. All right. There we go.
I don't think he can beat this guy right here in the verses. AG.
The Pillage. Yes, sir.
He ain't got nothing better than the Pillage.
One of the best Who albums ever.
First of all, he has plenty of albums better than the Pillage. All of these albums are better than the Pillage.
I don't know about plenty, Coop. Maybe a couple.
Maybe a couple. He ain't got milk this cow in his catalog.
3 and Impossible.
Shout out to AG for the Pillage vinyl.
No doubt. Yo, like Kendrick can't be no lower than 3 because Sean got him in his top 2. I got him at 3, and you got him at what, 5? So I mean, it can't go no lower than 3. And then Force would evidently be our number 4.
Bubble up. I'm taking notes on this. Excuse me.
Tough, man.
Yeah.
I told y'all this was gonna be tough behind the schemes, man.
If you conceded to Gibbs being number 1, then I think Coop should have to concede to Kendrick being number 3.
I agree. That's a great point.
I agree.
Oh, that point sounds terrible. That actually sounds like one of the worst points that we've heard this year.
That's a great point. That's a phenomenal point.
Some bullshit is what it is.
Kendrick, Coop came on the show and was plotting on how could he knock Kendrick out of the top 10. How can he hate Kendrick out of the top 10?
After he said,
I was going to get him to 5. 5 was the goal.
Ain't no way. GNX is too good to be number 5.
So what? Okay,
not that good. It's good. It's not that good.
It's better than anything that's hovering around 5.
I don't know. It's hovering around 5 for me. All right. So we got Freddie at 1, Raps at 2, GNX at 3.
LL at 4.
The Force is 4 because we all have the Force in our top 5. I have it at 5. You have it at 4. You have it at what?
4.
Yeah, 2 4s and a 5 make a 5th.
Yeah.
All right.
This is tough. AJ, you writing this down? Because this is tough. We may have to end up going back and look at this real tight.
Number 5. I'll tell you what. I did have Sky Zoo there, Prisoner of the Moment, and I compared that to Calm and Pete Rock, and I went back and listened to both.
Those are all terrible choices.
Damn. I'm gonna have to give that 5th spot to Calm and Pete Rock. But if y'all got something else that I got in the ballpark, I'm not mad if something else goes there.
I have the Auditorium 13th on my list for the year. 13th. Even make my top 10.
That's insane, man. That's
No.
man, yo,
No.
y'all in the chat, feel free to
Accepting this
bash Coop
boring
with his
ass.
hater ways.
Accepting,
Oh shit! What just happened? Man, I don't know what just happened.
accepting
Technical
boring ass rap
difficulties.
album. Trying to put this boring ass rap album in the top 5. Shame on you.
Nah,
Album boring.
I tell you what, I got a 6 that's top 5 worthy, and I wouldn't be mad if it was at 5.
Beat.
Is Doechii.
I got Doechii at 7, so I'm cool with Doechii.
I got Shay over Doechii, though.
Huh?
I got Shay over Doechii.
Che is a possible in my list as I got towards the bottom. The album was too short.
Che's album was too short to make my list. I'm sorry.
I got it listed at number 10 for a possible, but it's more like an EP.
It's too short. It's an EP. It's not an album.
Sheesh.
So what do you have at 6, Sean?
What I have Paisley at 6.
Okay, so if you got Paisley, if you got Paisley Dreams that high, Sean has it that high, then we have to bump that up. I had it at number 7. But
I had it at 3, so that makes it 5.
So we got to jump that up to 5. That's only fair.
Okay, I'm grabbing a pen. I want to write this down. I don't want AG look like he got family from Florida. We got to count the ballot right. You know what I'm saying?
I got a lot of family in Florida, actually.
See what I'm saying? See,
Tampa.
Hold on,
I got Tampa, Jacksonville, got them all on lock.
Jacksonville, not Duval County?
Yeah.
Duval County. Yeah. Oh, no. No, how you niggas up down there. No. AG know what I'm talking about? AG probably got somebody in Jacksonville running a Ponzi scheme right now. Wow. They're wild down there. They do whatever they want.
That guy.
Okay. So,
all right.
Playing dirty videos on YouTube. Not those type of dirty videos. Like,
I'm cool. I'm cool. You nasty.
Not those type of dirty videos, like the music videos. Oh my God.
Yo, that's crazy.
I found the Lord and am delivered, sir. I don't watch those things.
Nasty.
Cool. Yo, a lot about it is crazy.
Right.
Wow. Walking away.
Man, I told y'all this was going to be, and y'all want to do 20. I told y'all doing this 10 was going to be tough.
Yeah, no doubt. And plus, I ain't even tripping on 10, 11 through 20, man, because all them joints could be grouped together.
They all can be.
I ain't trying to spend an hour on here separating them out.
Nah. Yo, they said Coop be watching porn.
That's what he got on TV behind him right now.
Yeah.
That's not true. That is
he looked like, let me check.
Yeah.
It's Redman.
Yeah, Coop nasty.
He looked like, let me check real quick.
Yeah. Just in case the algorithms pop up on him.
This is wild. Yeah. Go to the next album, please, children. Next album. Where are we at? We're outside of, so we got our top 5. So at number 1, we got Freddie Gibbs, You Only Die Once.
Yep.
Number 2, we have Rhapsody, Please Don't Cry.
Yep.
Number 3 is Kung Fu. All right, next. Number 4 is Cool J.
MVP of the year, Kendrick Lamar.
Not MVP. Number 5 is Paisley Dreams. Game Big Hit. Okay.
Yep.
And now we are at our number 6. Well, AG, you had Doechii pretty high. Where'd you have Doechii?
I had Doechii at 6, but I had Common Pete above Doechii.
Okay. Well, I had Common Pete at 13, so they getting knocked all the way the fuck out over here. I'm not having it. I'm not gonna take subpar boom bap rap from you old niggas anymore. I won't do it.
Damn.
Sean, what do you got higher between the Doechii and the Common Pete?
I honestly have Doechii higher than Common Pete.
Okay.
Yeah. I got Doechii at 7. If you got Doechii at 6, I got Doechii at 7. Sean, where's Doechii for you?
I have Doechii on mine at 9.
Where do you have Skyzoo, Sean?
I dropped Skyzoo significantly at the top 10.
Damn, he's still in my top 10, but I dropped him. Let's go with Doechii at 6.
Sounds like Doechii at 6.
Yeah.
Cabernet's a little leathery. He needs a little bit more time to open up. A little leathery.
Yo, man.
10 years old.
I'm gonna let you rock on that one, Kuba.
10 years old. It's a 2014. Very dry. Very robust.
But yeah, Doechii's a star, man. She's really doing her thing.
This is tough. Yeah, we got a few super chats too, fellas.
Okay. She never gave you niggas money. Michael Williams with the $5 super chat. Just want to point out that Coop was correct. He's been saying the Nas Primo album wasn't dropping this year.
No, he said it wasn't dropping at all. He said it wasn't dropping at all.
No, I said it wasn't dropping this year. I said all you niggas
You said it's not happening, period.
It's not what I said. Go back and check the tape.
Yeah, that's what
you didn't have no faith.
Go check the tape. Go check the tape. I said that it's not dropping this year, and I was
but
right.
we still got a few more days left.
No, it's not happening, niggas.
God.
This is ridiculous the way.
Stranger things happen.
He knows it's not happening. He's still
Magic dropped Christmas Eve. Don't forget that.
Oh man.
Indeed.
Yo, speaking of new music, we did that Redman. Did y'all hear that Hit Boy Letter to My Mentors?
I like it.
That was a dope homage track to Polo the Don, Kanye, Nas. That was a dope joint by Hit Boy. Shout out to Hit Boy, man.
Shout out to Hit. Shout out to Big Hit too. Free Big Hit.
Free Big Hit.
Speaking of which, where do y'all got Blacks and Whites still in y'all's top 10?
Well, hold on. We're gonna get to that in a second. Let me finish these super chats.
Oh, okay.
Andrew Williams with the $1.99 super chat. Gibbs don't have any moments out his solid albums.
He doesn't.
That's fair. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Okay. Corday's album, The Crossroads, was arguably top 5 this year. That's my mere thoughts with the $4.99 super chat. I like the Corday album. I thought it showed some growth. He suffers from the same thing that Freddie suffers from on the other side of the spectrum, where it's like he has all the skills and all the things to be like, I guess, like a modern day Tribe, Lupe, De La type of rapper, but it just doesn't connect as well for some reason. Any reason why, fellas? Real quick.
Doesn't have a story. He doesn't have a story. He doesn't have anything that can connect with the fans, that can connect with the audience.
Go ahead, Sean. My fault.
I said just nothing. There's nothing that we can say, man. He has an interesting storyline or interesting piece that make me want to tap into his music. He just doesn't have it.
What I'm gonna say is, like, I don't want it to come off disrespectful at all.
Anytime a nigga says that, it's usually some very, very disrespectful stuff about to go down. It's like, hey, I don't mean to slap the shit out of you, but will you just turn your left cheek?
No, don't do that. Because I like Corday. I like his music. But with that said, I'm about to make an analogy, and I don't want it to be taken out of context for, sneakerheads like me and Sean, right? So Corday, he reminds you too much of his influences like J. Cole or whatever. But if you want that bag, you're going to go to a J. Cole instead of tapping into Corday. If you go into the store, you're going to buy the retro 7s, the 6s, the 4s, the 5s. You're not going to buy a pair of Jumpmans that have like a similar looking silhouette to the 4s, 5s, 6, 7s, or whatever. You're going to buy the retros. You're going to leave the Jumpmans on the shelf. And Corday is very much like buying some Jumpman Jordans. I'm sorry.
Damn.
That's not to be disrespectful. I'm just calling it what it is. Like if he went outside, like if he wasn't in that Cole wheelhouse so much, you can get that from Cole. Like he just got to go outside of that a little bit more. But he has said one of the most profound things I've heard in recent times. And Sean, I think he sent me the video. We get too caught up on first week sales. I think it was Charlamagne asking him about his first week sales, and did he think his album was a failure because it had low first week sales? And he said, no, why should I base something that I put, a year or more work time into just off what happens in 1 week? You know what I'm saying? That doesn't determine if I think it's a success or a failure. Like people think that success is predicated on first week sales because we're from an era where we went out to cop physical. So it's like you got to get it before it's gone, before the stores sell out of physicals. But now, in the digital era where everything's in streaming, music's always available to you. How many times has an album dropped and you was like, shit, I ain't got time, I'll get to it later. You know what I'm saying? I'll eventually listen to it. I'm not going to tap in right now. It's always there. So you can have it at your fingertips at any time. So I think, that breakdown was one of the most profound things I've heard in this recent era because we put too much credence with that first week number. But with that said, Jumpmans.
I look at it like this. I found out about Corday because I was watching the U.S. Open one night with the person that I was seeing at the time, and he was sitting courtside in Naomi Osaka's box. And I said, who is this punk ass nigga that looks like a rapper sitting in Osaka's box? And the chick that I was with at the time was like, that is a rapper. His name's Corday. When I find out about a rapper, because he's dating a tennis player at the U.S. Open, he probably ain't about to be my type of rapper, your type of rapper, or anybody from my generation type of rapper, because we just don't look at him like a punk ass kid or an offshoot.
I mean, it ain't gotta be all that.
No. I'm just telling you.
I'm worried about my statement being disrespectful, and this is what Coop does.
Okay, I mean, but I'll let you actually have your statement. So, but what I'm really trying to say is that, well, he just doesn't come off well for our generation. We look at him like a knockoff, like a bootleg, like he's soft, not articulate enough. Like he's a lot of things to this generation, and it's just like it doesn't connect. But there is a generation of people that he does connect to, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My mere thoughts again with the $4.99 super chat. I try my best to fall in love with Common and Pete Rock. I just end up falling asleep each time I listen. Yes, I put on Common and Pete Rock right after the Andre Flute album because it just goes together. It's perfect music to go to sleep.
Not that bad, Cool. It's not that bad.
Yeah, perfect music to go to sleep to. All right, so we have who do we have for number 7? Because it damn sure ain't Common and Pete Rock.
For what we just said, it's not Corday either.
Definitely not Corday.
Corday didn't stand a chance in hell. Sorry, my dog. We appreciate you, super chat. We appreciate you trying for Corday. That shit's not happening at Hip Hop Talks in 2024.
Man, I feel bad, man, because Corday came to West Virginia, man.
Okay.
He opened for Lil Wayne here.
Oh God! Here we go with these lies.
No, he did.
He was in West Virginia for no concert, and Corday did not. You telling West Virginia live?
First of all, they don't even have venues in West Virginia with working.
We do. Hey yo, we ain't gonna do that, Coop, because like we went to the festival. We met up at the festival in North Carolina, your home state, and I was like, "Yo, this all the people here. We got bigger choice than this in West Virginia. Like, don't do that."
First of all, that's the first city in North Carolina. All right, it's a small city.
It don't matter. It don't matter. That's your home state. I'm talking about the whole state.
Hey.
Even if it's not your city, that's your state.
There was working plumbing at that event. What more do you want?
Hey, man, it was a good turnout. Don't get it twisted. The people showed love. I don't want to do that either. But West Virginia, we had some dope festivals. Shout out to Multi-Fest in Charleston every year. That's where, remember I told you they was trying to lift the girl in the wheelchair on stage to see LL Cool J.
See, remember that? Know what that is? Those are the people.
That joint started leading.
Those are people who are doing drugs. That's a hustlers convention. That's what that is. It's a hustlers convention. People who are doing drugs.
LL was like, "Bring her up." I was like, "I don't know if that's a good idea."
Wheelchair, you're doing drugs. LSD, PCP, OPP.
LL thought he had the force for real. He was going like, hold his head down, leave.
We're going to the next album. We have to go to the next album.
This is crazy.
The sidebar is nasty.
The West Virginia Chronicles, man, it's crazy.
Calling them the West Virginia Chronicles is crazy.
The Chronicles, man, it's crazy.
Oh man.
The Chronicles.
Yo, when we were talking, Coop did get to North Carolina. He was like, "I can't believe I'm home again." He took a big breath. Remember, he was like, "I'm back." He was like, "I'm back." It was like 13 people out there. He was like, "I'm back."
Oh man, Coop thought he was the prodigal son.
Number 7, album number 7, please.
My bad.
All right. Future Metro. Yeah, I had that at my number 9, so I wouldn't be mad if it was at number 7.
I have it at number 10. What did y'all have? Where did y'all have Blue Lips by Schoolboy Q?
They didn't make my top 10.
Whoa.
It just hit my top 10.
Whoa.
At 10. Blue Lips.
I had it as a possible, but it wasn't in my top 10.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
I'm lobbying for Common and Pete or Skyzoo at number 7. That's what I'm lobbying for.
Skyzoo didn't make my list, and Common and Pete Rock are 13 on my list. Common and Pete Rock didn't make my list. Common and Pete Rock, Common and Pete Rock are not making this list. Say it slow with me. We're going to have to break it.
Yeah, we losing credibility by the minute because of y'all, man.
No, the album's not good, AG. It's not.
We got to call it what it is, man. I think
it's not top 5 good, but you saying it's not top 10 good is crazy.
Not.
I can argue either way. I can argue top 10 or out of the top 10, either way.
Nobody wants to hear your diplomatic take, Sean. Saying you can argue for it either way is crazy.
It's great.
That was not diplomatic.
You know what it is? It's great for when I'm like leaving the 18th hole on the golf course and I want something to listen to on my AirPods on the way back to the clubhouse.
No,
have some like wine and cheese and crackers and shit. But like, that's about it. It's boring as fuck. Boring.
I think a lot of hip-hop we're trying to force that. I think a lot of hip-hop heads the same because it's common.
We are. The bar work's not there. Neither are the beats.
Common doesn't under-deliver in this project. But I always felt like after the first week or two, we talked about this. It just didn't have any legs. It just didn't have. I can't see. Let's go back into that album. If anyone said that,
I did go back to it, and then I was like, "Yo, this is pretty good. It's not great, but it's pretty good."
It didn't have no legs, no knees, elbows, hands. This motherfucker was not moving at all. Okay,
sound like me these days.
Sound like that lady in the wheelchair. That's what that album is.
Yo, no, don't do that. Edit this part out.
Yo,
are you killing us? You killing our ass, bro.
Y'all talk about me. Look, I do think that we need to look. Okay, let's be sensible about this. Let's be sensible. I'm not opposed to saying that Common and Pete Rock is at number 10. I'm not opposed to that. Is it a dope album? Yes.
Okay.
But I do think that the name recognition outweighs the quality of the album, in my opinion. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
I haven't gone back to that album a lot at all, straight up and down. I think that if we're comparing it to the others that came out, I don't know if this one has that staying power for me.
Okay.
I don't think it was designed to be that way, though. I think it's a dope moment, a dope album, but I think the name recognition is higher. I really do.
I think that's an excellent way of putting it, Sean. The brand name is better than the actual package itself. It's like the name on the outside of the box is better than what's inside the box. It really is. And when you do that, that means that you didn't put together a good project. And it's really not one of the 10 best projects this year. Like when I bought up Blue Lips by Schoolboy Q because Schoolboy Q's Blue Lips, like the high moments, production, and like rhyme wise on there, to me far exceed the Pete Rock and Common album to the point that it makes me look at the Common Pete Rock album borderline like a disappointment because this is one of Q's weaker efforts.
Nah, I really like Blue Lips. I'm not mad at Blue Lips being in the top 10 at all. I really rock with that project. I got it on my list. I have more than 10 albums written down for 10 to get in, but I just wrote out 9 and then a bunch of possibles that could squeeze in for 10. So
it's a bunch of possibles, man. And that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, Common and Pete is a steady Eddie album. I don't think you have any bad moments on that album. I just think you have just a dope album. And it's okay. It's okay.
So you had the Che pretty high, but me and Coop both said that was more like an EP because it was only like 7 tracks.
Was it even 7?
It was 6 or 7. I can't remember.
I feel like it was 6.
Okay. And then I was getting ready to ask, are we keeping that same energy? Because I still had I Am God's Bloodstained Suede in my top 5. I mean, in my top 10. His joint was it 9? It was 8 or 9.
I mean, I had More Suede at 4. More Suede was my 4. But I feel like
it was in your top 5?
Yeah.
But
but I felt like it was a full album though. Like it was 9 tracks.
Okay. I'm just asking about the tracks or whatever because we got to be fair. Because if we do that to Che, then shout out to I Am God. But if it was the same,
I feel like your playtime needs to be over 25 minutes. Like it's kind of like what I'm saying. Anything under 25 minutes, I feel like is EP, and I feel like that Che is under 25 minutes. Can somebody check and see?
Yeah, it was under 25. I remember.
Oh, then that's the EP. That's the EP under 25 minutes.
Now, what about any of the Benny projects?
My thing with the mini projects is that all the mini projects for me, like I feel like he has 3 projects that could possibly be between 10 and 20, but none of them are in the top 10.
I think the one with 38 could be top 10 worthy.
Was that the best one out of the three?
I think Summertime Butch is the one that's closer to being top 10 worthy.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
Everybody
I like
Can't Go was the marquee one, but that was my least favorite out of the three.
Yeah. I have all three of those albums between my 11 to 20 though. And
That says that he was at least consistent, even if it wasn't great. He was consistent.
You know, I think after your heavy hitters, like after your Future and Kendrick and Cole and Drake, like he's in that conversation this year just because of quality of production of product. Because Summertime Butch is a banger, so is Stabbed and Shot 2, and so is Everybody Can't Go. But no top 10 for him, unfortunately. No.
Did y'all? You brought up Future. Where does the first joint, We Don't Trust You? How high does that go?
Can't trust.
Or do you think his mixtape was better than that? Because to me, I think
hold on.
We Don't Trust You is better.
Where are we at on our number 7? Do we have our number 7?
We haven't decided on number 7. I'm just spitballing right now.
We need to decide on our number 7. Because I do have I Am God's More Suede at number 4. Where do you have it, AG?
I had it at within the possibles for number 10 or number 9 is where I had it.
You got I Am God in here anyway?
I had it around my 12 mark.
Okay.
Because I
got him at 4. You got him at 12. You got him at 10. That would put him in some sort of consideration. Y'all gonna have to give me somebody over I Am God. So I have I'll tell you the rest of my 10. I had Blue Lips at 8. Okay. I'll tell you my top 10. I had You Only Die Once by Freddie, Please Don't Cry Rhapsody, Paisley Dreams, More Suede, The Force, GNX, Alligator Bites Never Heal, Blue Lips, One of One, We Don't Trust You.
Yeah. I'm thinking we either go like from here on down, the only ones that I have left in the top 10 that haven't been named yet are, Common Pete, Skyzoo's joint, Future and Metro, We Don't Trust You, Blacks and Whites with Big Hit Boy and Alchemist. I got I Am God, Bloodstained Suede, the More Suede, and then I got Blue Lips.
Blacks and Whites is my 11.
Didn't make your top 10?
It's 11.
Okay.
I had to pick between Blacks and Whites and We Don't Trust You, and I chose We Don't Trust You about the bigger moments, but the production is comparable. But Future does sound fresh and reinvigorated on that album. It is the start of a run of a great year for him where he should be in contention for Artist of the Year.
Did you have his mixtape in the top 10?
I did not.
Okay. So I say we either go with Blue Lips or I Am God at number 7.
Sean, where'd you have Blue Lips?
I have Blue Lips. Hold up.
Or Future and Metro.
I have Future Metro in my top 10. I kept moving it up and down based on what was coming out. Same thing with Blue Lips. I have Blue Lips at number 8 at one point.
Okay.
So Future and Metro at our midway through the year list was at number 6.
That sounds about right.
And let me see where Blue Lips was.
Blue Lips was higher. Blue Lips
was number 4 at our midway point. So I say maybe go Blue Lips and Future and Metro, and then I Am God.
I can live with that for right now. Yeah. Then once we take a look at it, we have to.
So we're putting the Metro in the Future over the Schoolboy. Is that what you're saying?
No, I said Schoolboy at number 7. Okay.
Schoolboy at 7.
Yeah.
And then Metro and Future.
Yep.
At 8.
And then I Am God will be 9.
9.
Yep. And then we can squabble up over 10.
Squabble up.
That's where y'all have Mock Homie.
We had that
on the mock. I was on the mock. I didn't know how y'all felt about the mock.
You put me on the mock.
It wouldn't make my top 10, but at our mid-year review, it was number 8.
It was pretty tough, man.
It was tough. Man,
I wouldn't put it over the Common Pete though, or the Skyzoo.
Let me throw something at y'all. The Dog Pound album, We All We Got, was really, really dope, y'all.
That one was dope.
We had that at number 9 at our mid-year review, and then you said One of One, Coop. We had that in our top 5 early on at our mid-year review. We had that at the number 5 spot.
I don't love how it held up, but I do like the highs of that album. I do think the Future album proved to be the better album over the course of time in terms of replay.
I didn't go back to it a whole lot. Yeah, so
good vibe for the moment. Good vibe for the moment.
So my buy-ins for that 10th spot is either going to be Common Pete, Skyzoo, or Blacks and Whites with Big Hit and Hit Boy and Alchemist. Those are my 3.
I got Blacks. Okay, so I'll tell you what. Here's my 11 through 15. I got Blacks and Whites at 11. I got Summertime Butch at 12. I got The Auditorium at 13. I got We All We Got by the Dog Pound at 14. I got Rich Ass Haitian by Makami at 15. That's my 11 through 15.
No, Might Delete Later Love.
That's number 16.
This is, man.
What do you? Excuse me. So we talked about the anniversary joint being taken off of You Only Die Once, but you still include it as part of the album. So Might Delete Later, as a project, the diss song 7 Minute Drill has been taken off, has been deleted. But I actually think the project is better without that on there. But we have that, the Dream Build, concert associated with it. So
I don't think it helps or hurts the project. It's still too damn low if it's the only project that he's releasing this year.
Just asking questions.
Well, I mean, think about it like this. Think about this. Even for people this is why I be like, oh, I'm hating on Kendrick. It's like on my list, I have GNX tied at 5, but I have Might Delete Later at 16. Does it sound like I'm hating?
I mean, you hate no matter what, Coop. I mean, it's like, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
First of all, why don't you black him out when he says shit like this?
No, because he wants it to be put on full display. He wants it to be put on full display. That's what Sean wants.
Exactly.
Who's our number 10? Give me y'all's 11 through 15.
Yeah, I just named about 4 or 5 of my joints that I want for 10. Sean, what you got?
I'm with you on Blacks and Whites. I'm not with you on The Auditorium. I'm not putting that album in the top 10. They need to.
How did you feel about the Skyzoo though?
No, didn't make my top 20.
It was in my top 20, but I dropped it pretty low.
How about this? I had to pick between Master Ace's Richmond Hill and Skyzoo's, and I picked Master Ace. So
okay.
And that's the thing. I don't know, fellas. We may have to reevaluate this because it's too much. It's a log jam. We got too much of a log jam.
And this is exactly what I mean about how 11 through 20 was going to be.
Right. And I think
we're a bunch of shit together.
I think we're starting to see 1 through 10 play out the same way. Because
I think Blacks and Whites is the one. Hold on, where do you have Blacks and Whites, AG?
Let's see. I had it at 11. Yep.
I have it at 11 too. Sean, where do you have it?
See, I had Blacks and Whites at 12, but I had a higher in the very beginning. I had Blacks and White,
but that's not
at like 8, I think, in the beginning.
But that's not like, what I'm saying, a far-fetched if we had it around 11 or 12 spot to put it in 10, because only reason why I got it at 11 is because I had Common Pete Rock and then Skyzoo ahead of it. And y'all had those albums both real low. So outside of those 2 albums, I don't have any other albums above Black and Whites on my list.
Me neither. So it sounds like Black and Whites is the one that, because I have 1 of 1. Because hold on, how about this? Here are my albums. All my albums are in the top 10, except for 1 of 1.
Forgot about 1 of 1.
So
I take Blacks and Whites over 1 of 1.
I might take Blacks and Whites over at the time. No, but replay value now, I might take Blacks and Whites over 1 of 1 too. That's the only one that I have that's not in my top 10 that didn't make.
And well, it's funny you say that, Coop, because at our mid-year report, we had One of One at number 5 and Blacks and Whites at number 6.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
So we're being consistent.
Yeah.
So has it flipped or is it still 1 of 1?
My vote is for Blacks and Whites.
Sean, what's your vote?
My vote is I give up. I'll go whatever y'all say. This shit is complicated, man.
That's that diplomacy I be talking about.
Because here's the thing, fellas. Everyone does a top 10, top 20 list, right? We may need to change the course of things and do it a different way because there's too many log jams. You got like 4 or 5 albums that can really fight each other for number 1 through number 5 easily. We may need to do a tiering system that changes the whole dynamic of what we're talking about. It's too much of a log jam because
What?
Go ahead,
Sean. When I was doing my list and I was doing my top 20, I actually did something. I don't know why I was thinking about college basketball season, and I was like, well, I want to see how many teams, and that's how I looked at it. I looked at these albums like teams. I was like, I want to know how many teams from each region made the tournament this year. And so I kind of set it up like a bracket. So in my top 20 list, 5.5 of the albums came from the East Coast. The half is the Pete Rock for the Pete Rock and Common. I gave it a half East Coast, half Midwest because Com's from Chi-Town, Pete Rock's from Mount Vernon.
I like that. So, okay.
The West Coast got 6 albums. The South got 5 albums. Now the Midwest got 3.5 albums, but the Midwest was the only region that had 2 of my top 5 albums. Because I had Freddie and I Am God in my top 5. They were my 1 and my number 4.
But I like that you did that, Coop, because that just shows that even though everything is kind of clumped together, it was a very balanced year.
And that's what I was actually thinking is that when you said that, Sean, it made me think we might need to just start bracketing it off by region and letting people vote and decide because it is so tight these days. Like a year like this makes me think like, and I've run it down. The albums between 15 to 40, we could argue about for the next 30 days. 15 to 40, we could argue about. We could argue about 15 to 40 for the next 30, 40 days. We really could. And so when I did it and I kind of bracketed mine off by region like that, like you would like a tournament bracket, like, you know what I mean? Like Duke and North Carolina usually get a number 1 seed in the South or the East, depending on how well Kentucky or Villanova does for the year and stuff. So what do you think about bracketing it off by seed? Because if we were to bracket it off by seed, it's like, well, the Midwest would have the number 1 overall seed with Freddie Gibbs, which you only die once. You know what I'm saying? So Freddie would have the lowest competitor from, you know what I'm saying? And we just start, breaking it down. And we pick the albums like that way. What do you think about like a little bracketology?
I like that. I like that better than this traditional way of doing it. This traditional way of doing it, we're not going to get nowhere, honestly, because we're going in these circles. Our list will change by tomorrow. If we do a top 10 tonight, it'll change by tomorrow by looking at it.
All right. Well, let's how about this? Let's come up with like our own little tournament bracket, and
let's go. Probably 16 will be the way to go.
Huh?
16 will probably be the way to go.
I was actually thinking, AG, I could do 48 albums this year. That's what I mean about actually doing like an actual bracket. Like actual bracket.
I thought you were talking about if you're doing the best of the regions or whatever, like 4 from each region. I'm sorry. Like if you do like a Sweet 16, you know what I'm saying, 4 from each region, and then bracket that out and see what meets in the middle for the best album. You know what I'm saying? Rank them joints by seeding.
We can see. It was a pretty deep year. I can give you about 32 to 48 projects.
Yeah, four East Coast, 4 West Coast, you know what I'm saying, 4 Midwest, and 4 down South. That way you don't got to get too deep, you know what I'm saying? Just pick the best of the best.
Top 4 seeds. That's cool. We can do some refining and talking about it behind the scenes a little bit. That sounds like a plan. So, are we cool with this list? Is Blacks and Whites going to be our 10 for now?
It's a working list, but yeah, that's look like what we're going with for number 10 for now.
I like that. Let me go through some super chats right quick, get caught up. My mere thoughts with the 199. Y'all forced me to delete Corday from my playlist. Nah, Corday is cool. We like Corday. We just don't love Corday.
Right.
Just give some explanation why it's a like and not a love. That's a thumb up instead of a heart. You know what I mean? Jermaine Johnson, what up? $9.99 super chat. Appreciate you, brother. Common and Pete Rock, LL and Q-Tip, Snoop and Dre, Killer Mike. Let's take a moment to appreciate the quality projects that our legends are giving us, and the new normal of 50-year-old MCs still rapping at a high level. You know what? We're gonna keep the glass half full and respect that, Jermaine Johnson. You're right. The legends are still putting in quality work at an advanced age and stage when we used to think rappers' careers were done at 25 when we were kids. Jermaine Johnson, one more time with the 199 super chat. Nas kind of started this wave with his Hit Boy run. We're aware, sir. Thank you for reminding. We got any more? We got a few more super chats. Ill Magic with the 999 super chat. I mixed up my list, including late release albums from late last year with this year, making the list more surprising and interesting. Fascinating. Mad Max. No list valid if you don't got out a gala one. I don't know about that, Mad Max. Mad Max, one of one is better than blacks and whites. Stop it. I mean, see, I might be Southern biased, so I might prefer to hear 101, like me personally.
It's
But
close. It's like either way you go.
yeah.
You know?
Well, that's one of those things that's either or. It's like I don't really like care either way at the end of the day because both projects are like super high quality. All right, that's it for the super chats. We're all caught up. So AG, so you're thinking do a 4-4. What do you think about an 8-8-8? That's what I mean about doing the 32.
It. I think it'll be easier to do 4 from each region because if you do 8, for each region, you got to really like get in your bag as far as like filling out the 8. Like, say it might be a struggle to pull 8 Midwest joints. You know what I'm saying?
See, that's what I mean. A year like this, I don't think it's as big of a struggle as you think because you got somebody like Event Staples hanging out there whose Dark Times we didn't discuss much. We have a Larry June album we didn't talk about much. You know what I mean? You got that Dog Pound album. You got the Q. You got the Kendrick. There's joints out there.
And Lupe would be another Midwest joint. Lupe's
Samurai. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No,
and Boldy would be one.
Boldy got 2. The Brictionary just came out. Brictionary was up there for me. Yeah. So there's stuff to choose from. The I Am God joint, I Am God's first joint came out earlier.
I mean, you might have to grab the Big Sean album to make 8 for the Midwest, but
no, I can grab. Think about it. I can grab both Boldy projects, both I Am God projects.
Eminem still in my top 20.
The Eminem project. That's what I'm saying. Oh, there's plenty Midwest to do 8 this year.
Yeah, we could do 8. We could do 8.
Yeah, 8'll be fun. Let's do.
It'll be the seating. The seatings would be the hardest part, though.
Yeah, let's do a little bracketology. I'll try to come up with like a tentative seed, and then like I'll slide it across your desk, AG, and you can kind of like tell me what you think.
No doubt. We'll do that. Y'all seeing us cook in real time.
Oh no, I like that a lot. So, fellas, where we want to go next? We want to cover these DMX anniversaries now. We kind of cool with our top 10 tentatively for now.
Yep. Yeah, we get that
anniversaries, a little press play. We didn't have any Discord dialogues this week, did we?
No.
Good. Last one was DJ Clue. I was like, oh, we slacking.
What's wrong with Clue?
Yeah,
shout out to Clue, man.
Okay.
Want to show love to the DJs, man.
Yeah, man.
You know what? One of my brother used to rap too. One of my favorite bar of his where he was like, "I'm gonna start pimping hoes, put them on eBay, fuck everybody but the DJ." That was my favorite shit my brother ever said.
That is crazy. DJ, show DJ love, man.
He said, "Fuck everybody but the DJ." He did show the DJ love. I was like, "That is great DJ love." I said, "The DJ is one because it was my record that he said it on." I was like, "The DJ is gonna want to spin it when he hears this shit." But I'm definitely not talking that way about the DJ.
Yeah,
doing that shit.
Some of my favorite rap moments ever came from Clue, and you know what I'm saying, and you know that sparked something. You know, we was talking about Discord dialogues behind the scenes, me and Sean, and going into the new year, even though we didn't do one for this week, we might revamp it to have a little bit more flavor and a little bit more variety instead of artists or producers or what have you. We might do
give it out.
Oh, okay. I thought we was announcing it. Okay, we'll save it then. We'll save it.
watch out as this. Don't be surprised somebody put the bracket joint out on Twitter by tomorrow.
Yeah, that's true too. People be stealing shit.
Stealing shit, man.
I'm so used to people biting my style, I do not know what to do anymore. I know that this 10-year Cabernet is not leathery anymore. It is open. It's full body. It's robust now. Very lush.
Yeah, limousine liquor, man. What you talking about, man?
Nigga,
limousine wine.
Look here. This is a little 10-year-old Cabernet. It's a little 2014 Cabernet from North Napa Valley. I know some people run a little B&B up there. Don't you know? Little small allocation, a little something personal for Coops in. Merry Christmas. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all.
Who drinking Zippendale?
This is Cabernet, sir. Although I do have a nice Martinelli Zinfandel in the cooler though. There is a nice Martinelli Zinfandel. Yes, there is. It's not my style. The Zinfandel is for company. You know what I'm saying? It's not for me. None of it.
Company is nasty. That's nasty.
Okay. Watch your tone. Not all company is like your company. We know what type of company you like to keep. All right, honey pat. All right.
I'm just sitting here laughing, man. What did I do? Let's say nothing. All right, moving on. Anniversaries, man. Music anniversary.
Lake County to be exact. Look it up. All right. Anyway, so on December 21st, 1999, we have Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood by DMX. I'm sorry, 1998, Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood.
Yeah.
And December 22nd, 1999, we have And Then There Was X. So, you know, starting to notice this trend where our biggest artists tend to be dropping in December. You start seeing how important DMX was to Def Jam with these albums. It's like, no, you were going to drop right before Christmas and take everybody's last dollar. Yep. Everybody's last dollar belongs to Def Jam, courtesy of DMX. What are your thoughts about Flesh of My Flesh?
Did they put an extra clause or some bonus in his contract if he could release again before the year was out?
I think
they challenged him on that.
I believe they did give him an extra $1 million or something like that.
Yeah, because they said if you can do it, and he was like, "Yeah, I could do it," and then he locked in with Swiss and got it done. I think the conversation is because everybody knows "As Dark as Hell Is Hot" is his, magnum opus. And Then There Was X is his biggest selling album. Did 5 times platinum, if I'm not mistaken, but. I think the conversation is for what is his second best album, And Then There Was X or Flesh of My Flesh. I think that's where the conversation lies.
See, for me, it's not a conversation. Flesh of My Flesh is clearly his second best album. Like, I don't think, and Then There Was X for me. I think because it's his biggest selling record, because it has some of his bigger crossover hits, like Party Up is on there. Mm-hmm. What These Bitches Want is on there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, those records are pretty big. I love What's My Name. What's My Name is like one of my top 5 DMX records, like for me personally. So, And Then There Was X is pretty epic.
So Party Up is on Then There Was X.
That's what I said.
Oh, okay. I thought you said it was on Flesh of My Flesh. My fault.
No. But for me, Flesh of My Flesh is still like, how about this? You can tell that he's got money, but it's not enough to take the hood out of him yet. And Then There Was X is a more polished version of DMX.
It
is.
Mm-hmm.
No, the guy that's still hungry, like some of the hunger is still evident, like on Flesh of My Flesh, in terms of like, there's something about his voice on those first 2 albums that is so brutal and so honest and so vicious in a good way for an artist. And he was never able to recapture that because it's one of those things that's so hard to recapture. But he's still that on Flesh of My Flesh. And that's his pulling point, because he can say things that another rapper can say, and it doesn't sound as impactful as in when he says it,
Yeah. For me, I think that overall, And Then There Was X is a better album than Flesh of My Flesh, because going back and listen to it, that Casio keyboard sounding production doesn't have the staying power with me in 2024. But if I'm listening to that album, my favorite 3 songs off both albums are on Flesh of My Flesh, which would be Blackout, We Don't Give a F, and then Slipping. But outside of that, I think it goes to Flesh of My Flesh. I'm sorry, I think it goes to Then There Was X.
See, that's the thing. How about this? And Then There Was X might be a better production job, but Flesh of My Flesh has Slipping, The Omen, Blackout, Ain't No Way, Where I'm From, Keep Your Shit Hardest. Like, I don't know. Like, those 6 records alone are better than everything on And Then There Was X to me. Like The Omen going into Slipping, going into Ain't Got No Love, which I think goes into Blackout. I mean,
it's a tough run.
That's just that run is just as good as any run on this Dark and Hell is Hot damn near. Like it's pretty tough. The tough part about it is Swiss's production, but there is some dope Swiss stuff on there. Like I like Ain't No Way. That boom 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 boom. Like it sounds dope. Like X has found a way to freak it. Like where it sounds nice. And he's still in that It's Dark and Hell is Hot zone for the most part. I think it's his second best album.
I think the tone on Flesh of My Flesh felt so different than the first album, because these albums are only a few months apart, but they feel like they're worlds apart. They feel like they are a couple of years apart, which is really interesting, because he still had that bite in him, no pun intended. He was still doing what X do, but it was just different. It just felt different. I don't know why. To me, it felt different. When I went to boot camp in '98, I just heard It's Dark and Hell is Hot. When I was in boot camp, this is when Flesh of My Flesh came out, so I didn't hear it until January. And when I heard it in January, it was like, my goodness, he did it again, but at a different clip. And I'm not saying that's because it's better than the first album, but I felt like, man, it sounds so different, sounds fresher than the first album. The first album probably was conceptualized in '97, maybe. It came out in '98. This one sounded like it was made in the back half of '98 with Swizz. And I think this is where Swizz probably hit his zenith as a producer, because I don't think Swizz produced anything as great as this album in totality after.
No,
I agree. I like his work on We Are the Streets, but it wasn't as good as on this.
It wasn't as good as on this one.
No, it's not as good as this. His EP, the joint that has Echo and Pistol on My Side, that's his second best production job to me.
Absolutely.
He didn't even do Echo. DJ Scratch did that.
He tried to front like he did it.
Yeah,
but nah. And then it was X. To me, I think that's when X really started getting commercialized.
Polished. That's why I was trying to say it in a nice way, but that's the polished version of X. It's like, well, I don't really, like, I like that guy. I don't love that guy. The guy on the first one, I'm just like, no, I love that guy. It's like, that's the guy that I'm riding with.
Because I was never a fan of Party Up. I'm be honest with you. I know people love Party Up.
I don't like Party Up.
I didn't like it.
I love What Y'all Want. You know what I'm saying?
That's just okay. Okay, so that's what I mean about the polished version of him.
Oh, no. The joint on And Then There Was X. DMX. What y'all niggas want? That joint. That joint was grimy. I like that.
Crazy. We were fighting so much in the clothes and that song came out.
That's my shit. That's one of his best records to me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But the rest of the album don't.
Yeah. What's My Name is the name of that joint. I could think of it for a while.
Yeah. At the black wife beater.
Now Be the Best. You see the rest, they looking like a need a rest. One more time. I'm gonna get you some shit that's gonna be split and be fucking with your mind. Stop talking shit.
Yeah.
Jay even popped up in the video. That joint was so hot. Jay had to make a cameo in the video. He popped in for that one.
Ghost did too.
Go again.
Ghost and Kappa was in the video.
Yep, sure was.
Okay.
Ghost had the robe on.
Okay, you got one more time with this Kappa shit.
What?
He was in the video.
Was in the video. I know.
Somebody can't even be in the video. Kubi ain't.
You just be trying to sneak the pillage in whenever you want. You be pillaging the pillage in the show.
I'm just saying.
You pillage the pillage into this show.
You got to get the hot artist in your video. That was the first. That was the lead
send
single.
Me my
right?
Wu-Tang mug.
I got you, man. I got you in that other stuff.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my fiance, man. This is the dope Christmas joint. You know what I'm saying?
She got
my pair on lock. Yes, sir.
Yeah, got my joint right here. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I see you, Charles.
Yeah.
My joints are signed by Capadonna on the bottom and say the pillage on the bottom, but I'm joking.
Mine is signed by Killer Sin.
Those things are not worth any money. They're not worth any money. Why would you devalue those like that? They were collector's items, so you did that. It's ridiculous.
But nah, man, that was the first single I think off of, and then there was X, right?
Yes, and it was a huge first single.
It was a huge first single, and that was like really the B-side single at that.
Well, here's the thing about it is that it is super rare that somebody comes out and does 4 million records sold. First of all,
yeah,
in the 90s, and then the same year
with that music, with that kind of music,
goes and sell another 3, pretty much damn near 4. So he pretty much just goes 4, and then 5.
Crazy.
Yeah. Crazy.
I don't think anybody's had a 3-album run like that out the gate.
No
50.
One.
Maybe Eminem.
50.
M is different though. M is
different.
M is different.
50. Yeah.
It's X and 50.
Yeah. And then Eminem.
Because 50 shit go.
50 went diamond, I believe, with Get Rich, right? Or did it get close to diamond?
It was like 8 or 9.
It went crazy. Yeah. You there, cool?
Who's having technical difficulty?
Yeah.
You on mute?
We can't hear you. All right.
Yeah, had to tap out and come back in. But yeah, X had a hell of a run coming out the gate, but
he did. Because I think the carryover, I think the only difference between Flesh of My Flesh and then it was X, I just didn't like Party Up. I just didn't like it. I thought it was just I couldn't get into it.
It served its purpose though.
It did, and that's what
Party Up is why specifically this is his highest selling album.
I don't know, AG, because I think having Cisco on what these want from it, I think that was.
I come back in and you're talking about Cisco.
You kind of got to. Don't forget.
That single was heavy.
Cisco was heavy that year too. Don't forget.
Gloria Velez riding on the car. You know what I'm saying?
Straight up, you can't look. You can
now what I'd like to talk about is Gloria Velez riding on the car. You can skip the Cisco talk. Skip to that part.
Not the Cisco.
Yeah.
Shout out to Gloria Velez.
Yeah, the youngins in the chat wasn't around during that era, but use your Googles.
Yeah, shout out to Melissa Ford too.
She was in there too. Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care what these fucking rappers say about you.
And they were all on. And Coop, they were all on Cisco. Cisco was doing back flips and front flips on the
I don't care if they was on Cisco, Mad Dog 2020, St. Ides. I don't care what they was on.
Cisco was doing things.
Yo.
So you can't mention that going without the Cisco stimulus package too, because
that sounded wild.
Yeah, no, that sounded right.
That sounded crabut that single was huge. That's one of them ones.
It was huge.
We got CC. No, you're going crazy. Pause. We got super chats. How y'all feel about Ab Soul album from Ill Magic 199 with the super chat?
It was dope.
How you feel about Ab Soul?
It didn't make my top 20.
It's top 20, but it was a dope album. It was not gonna go crazy over.
I remember I listened to that on the way to North Carolina when we was like, pulling up to meet, and I was just iffy on it. It was okay. I like Herbert better.
Okay. That album ain't no good. Next. Okay. All right. Mad Max with the $9.99 super chat. Ready to Meet Him, X best song. And then there was X better song start to finish. Well,
Ready to Meet Him is hard.
Once again, I know that I'm right because Mad Max is giving me evidence that he doesn't know shit. Once again, it's still Flesh in My Flesh. This is the proof because Mad Max thinks it, and then there was X is better.
But Ready to Meet Him is dope.
$9.99. Ready to Meet Him is dope.
Super dope.
I forgot Slippin', laughed my ass off. Damn, my parents played that joint to keep me calm whenever I was getting wild. So they played it every day, 24/7,
Who said
constantly.
that?
Mad Max.
That Mad Max is on Ritalin?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
You
You can't tell Mad Max bipolar, a little touch of schizophrenia.
Yo, man, that's crazy. But back to
They was
the
tired.
what they
They was
want.
tired. Hold on, I'm not done with the super chat.
Oh,
They was tired of pulling the switch on me. Laugh emoji. Okay, Coop, you might have a point. First of all, I have points all the time.
yeah, that's
You've
crazy,
gotten
man.
better. You've gotten better from the last 4 years from my points. Talking about I might have a
What is
point.
Mad Max? Getting a beating while playing Slipping is crazy. Oh,
That's very dusty. Getting beat with a switch while Slipping is playing? That is a
Nah, that ain't so crazy. Like, I don't even want to say what was on the soundtrack to me get my butt beat, man. It's all kind of stuff that was playing in the background.
I'm pretty sure it's Slipping. Getting the beating and Slipping is crazy though. Like real talk, like getting the switch while Slipping is playing in the background. Yo,
when he says, then there was the drama with my mama while you getting your ass beat. Does it make you feel some type of way while you were getting your ass beat and the drama with your mama bar comes on while you're getting your ass beat by your mama? Does it make you feel some type of way?
Yo,
Do you need to talk to a therapist? Hip Hop Talks cares. So
no, not for that. Getting the beating.
Man.
No,
Yo, your parents saying, "Yo, let me."
I like how Sean is consistently an asshole. I offered Mad Max therapy, and Sean stopped that shit and was like, "No, not here, not at Hip Hop Talks. Don't do that here at Hip Hop Talks."
Yo, that's Mad Max, man.
Yo, that's wild.
Slipping to beat him. Let me go put a Slipping on real quick and go get that switch while we at it.
Okay, so how about this? If we're rating Flesh of My Flesh and then there was X today, what are you rating them?
Shit, 4.5 at least on both.
On both?
I don't know, man.
See, I think it's a 4.5 and then a 4. So I feel like my problem with X, if I'm gonna have a problem, is that although the first 3 albums are great, I would go 5, 4.5, probably 4.
Oh, that was my thought while you was reading the super chats. The what they want, like the Cisco joint. That was probably one of the most iconic moments in hip hop when he's naming all the chicks. That was something that lived forever in time. Like, you know what I'm saying? When he's naming all the chicks at the in the verse of the song. That was a big moment.
I mean, not me, I'm crazy. So I snatch a couple girls up. It's like, you been fucking with X, nigga?
That's insecurities, man, getting the best of you.
But that was crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's Greensboro Coop. You know what I'm saying? I snatch a motherfucker. Fuck, bitch, what have you been doing, bitch?
They're gonna add money.
Like, oh yeah. Ad money.
There you go.
Ad money is gone right there. Just like to let you know. Hold on. Ask Andrew can you get to it before they get to it?
Wow. That is crazy. That's one.
No. What was crazy was me in Greensboro because I really did check a chick one night. I was like, I know you know this nigga X. It's like,
wow. X did his thing, man. X got around.
X and Cisco, man. They ran wild in that year, man.
Cisco shit.
Shout out to Cisco, man. Yo, Cisco was going crazy, man. That album was phenomenal.
Album was not phenomenal.
What? Cisco's first album?
Yeah, Cisco's first album was dope, Coop. Don't do that. And the Drew Hill choice was dope.
That Cisco album had no misses. No misses.
He's all right, but
cool. That Cisco album had no misses.
I think it's just because of Cisco. Cisco had that joint where, like, you know who he was. You didn't give his music the credit it deserved.
I love Drew Hill.
But that's the group.
You had to. How can you not? Honestly, how can you not?
Banger. Enter the Drew. I'd like to thank Enter the Drew for my freshman year.
Why can't you give Cisco credit? Sean is giving Cisco credit, and then Sean, you know, and Cisco has some.
Chill out.
All right, I'm sorry.
So you're asking me. No, hold on. I just want to get this straight. You're asking me why Honey Pack Sean is complimenting a man who's most legendary Sean.
Honey Pack.
Honey Pack. Let me finish.
early 2024.
Look here. It's still 2024, nigga. You got 6 days.
But we're supposed to be talking about 1998, 1999. I don't think those were the thing then.
Look here.
AG was taking JC back then.
So Cisco's most famous song, this is terrible. Cisco's most famous song is the Thong Song, and you're wondering why Honey Pack Sean over there is co-signing?
What?
Oh,
That's
man.
my favorite song. I didn't think
Sean's Twitter handle should be #nasty-work. Like, okay, like of course you like Cisco.
AG just sitting here too, man. He's just sitting there.
Yo, man. Can we go
to help you, nigga?
Can we go to the next anniversary? We got volume 3, man. Let's keep it rolling.
He just sitting here.
Yes.
Last note on Anthony was X. The last song was on Why Do Good Girls Like Bad Guys or something like that. I hated that song. That song to me does.
Yeah, that was one of his worst songs ever.
Why do good girls?
Okay, December 31st, 1999, Jay-Z released Volume 3, Life and Times of Sean Carter. I personally remember this album because I was actually working at a record store and got an advance copy. And on that advance copy, there was this song called, well, there were actually 2 songs on there. There was one song called Anything that I thought might have been arguably the best record on there. And then there was another song called Is That Your Bitch that didn't have any Memphis Bleak on there, just had Missy on the hook and 3 Jay-Z verses. And I actually thought for a brief period of time until I got the copy that was released that it was actually better than Volume 2. What are your thoughts about Volume 3, guys? Because those are mine.
They actually got that version of Is That Your Chick on streaming now. The original one that leaked out on the bootleg. They have it on streaming on his album.
Now, for me, that's the record that really started the beef.
Yeah, he tried to give Bleak the alley-oop on that one and give it to his album, but it still didn't work out.
The original version leaking out.
Yeah.
And I do feel like that some of the album leaking out, like the person who leaked it, was doing it to be petty and be intentional, knowing that record leaking out was going to, stir some pots.
It's a good point. Anything I wasn't a huge fan of because I could tell that was a blatant attempt to recapture Hard Knock Life with the Annie. And Volume 3, I mean, the stuff he's saying on the record's cool, but I mean, it was just a blatant attempt. Like, how many Broadway plays is you gonna try to sample for? You know what I mean?
Come on, nigga. We taking all the Diana Rosses and Annie shit this year.
Nah, but the Volume 3 is real polarizing for me because he does have a lot of great stuff on there, but I think it's one of his worst albums if you're talking about from top to bottom. I think it's in his bottom 5.
No,
I think it's in his bottom 5. But it is great stuff. So Ghetto, Come Get Me, NYMP.
Bottom 5.
It's hot. It's joints on there, but I mean, to me, the Mariah. If you want to talk about Braveheart Party, weighing the album down, Pop for Rock, the joint with Mariah, the things that you do, the S. Dot Carter with Emil, terrible. But like I said, it does have shining moments. Do It Again is one of my favorite Jay verses of all time.
Pretty up there. It's up there.
But I still think it's in his bottom 5 album.
Bottom 5. First of all, when you say bottom 5, 444.
I don't have 444 in his bottom 5. I think 444 is better than this.
No.
Okay. So
absolutely not.
So first of all, whatever weed they have in West Virginia, send it to me. I'm off probation. Send it to me now. Send it to me now. Because you've been smoking some of the best shit. You've been smoking some of the best shit. I went to college in Greensboro with a white girl named Kim from West Virginia. She used to bring me the best weed. You've been smoking the best shit. Saying that.
I might know Kim, but I don't even smoke.
Shout out to Kim. You obviously were smoking before the show when you said that. 444 Kingdom Come.
I think Kingdom Come is comparable.
Oh no.
I think Kingdom Come Volume 3 and Blueprint 2 are in the same wheelhouse.
AG, how can you say that when this album has Do It Again and So Ghetto at the top of it?
I get it, but the lows are low.
Snoopy track.
The lows are super low.
The highs are stupid high. The highs are stupid high.
Hey, if you can hate on I Am, then I can sure as hell hate on Volume 3.
Volume 3 and I Am are very comparable, but I don't hate on I Am. I hate on Nostradamus.
Hell no. And what planet is Volume 3?
Nostradamus deserves to be hated on.
I will smoke you in a versus with I Am up against Volume 3, Coop. We could take that to Station Head.
No, you won't.
I will smoke you.
You're only going to win 3 records.
Shit. Okay. We gonna pencil this one in.
How about this? The highs on Volume 3 are actually more consistent than the highs on I Am. The highs on I Am are higher, but they don't last as long.
Nope. I don't know.
After you win New York State of Mind and Nas is like, you're in a whole lot of trouble.
Volume 3 ain't got an Undying Love. It ain't got a Small World. It ain't got a Favor for a Favor.
I'm sorry, Undying Love ain't like that, nigga. I play Come and Get Me and Undying Love off the floor. I remove your roof, nigga. Let the sun slide in. No, Undying Love is not better than that shit. It's not better than Snoopy track.
We have to take that to Station Head. We got to pencil that one in.
And that is wild. I'm a Nas fan, but that is wild if you think
you are not a Nas fan. You got your Nas fan card.
You don't think Volume 3 is fucking with I Am?
Hell no. Not on no planet.
There's a difference between being a fan.
I'm gonna smoke you. No, I Am versus Volume 3. Then I'm gonna call up Low, smoke him. Jadakiss versus Easy.
No, see, you think you sound like a fan, and you don't understand. You sound like a stan who does not.
I Am is like that. I Am is like that.
Like that.
I Am is like that.
It's never been like that. Play that We Will Survive bullshit over.
I Am is more comparable to Volume 2 than it is to Volume 3. It'll smoke Volume 3. Volume 2 is a better matchup for I Am.
I will beat you. I won't smoke you because I respect I Am, but I'll beat you with Volume 3 pretty handily.
Let's set it up.
Like that.
Let's set it up.
Like that. You can hate me now, but I won't stop now. That shit is not about to play.
Let's set it up.
Yeah, we can set that up. I don't believe you got me doing this. Yeah, I'll take Volume 3 over I Am.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
You don't have enough records. You want to play Dr. Knockboot up in this bitch?
Dr. Knockboot better than Pop for Rock. It's better than.
But it's not better than Big Pimpin'.
S. Carter.
It's not better than Big Pimpin'.
You better try harder. Competition
is nada.
But it's not better than Big Pimpin'. It's not better than Big Pimpin'.
Competition is none.
Big Pimpin' is the album Saving Grace.
It is.
Big Pimpin' is the album Saving Grace because with the low being as low as
Big Pimpin' is the album Saving Grace when you just talked about Do It Again is one of your favorite.
No, why it moved units? It moved units behind Big Pimpin' because Do It Again wasn't a major single. Do It Again wasn't a hit single. It wasn't. It's one of my favorite Jay-Z verses, but it wasn't a hit like that. Big Pimpin' is what moved units on this album.
What's the first week sales if that's the case?
I Am sold more. If you want to do that game, I Am sold more first week than Volume 3.
You said it wasn't a hit like that. What did Volume 3 do the first week since Do It Again wasn't a hit like that?
It did numbers, but I Am did more.
I ain't asking you in relationship to I Am. You said Do It Again wasn't a hit like that.
It's not. It's a difference between a hit and a like. Big Pimpin' is a number one type hit. I don't know if it did go number one, but it's a number one type hit. Do It Again is not like that.
But didn't Jay move about 400,000 units first week?
Something like that.
Okay, then Do It Again as a hit. Okay.
I mean,
because when you move,
but I Am like just had Nas's Like, and that's not a big hit either, and it did more numbers than Nas's Not Like is not a hit.
See, you and me look at hits differently. I think Nas's Like is a hit.
That's one of his best songs, but it's not a hit.
No, it's a pretty big hit. It was getting played on BET.
Maybe we're talking about the difference between hit and smash. Like Big Pimpin' is a smash.
There we go.
Big Pimpin' is a smash. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's outside the region.
Right.
Right. That's what I'm saying. No, like for our culture, no, Nas's Like is a hit. Do It Again is a hit. It's like, no, that sounds like a hit to me. You think?
But I'm saying they came out the same year and Nas moved more units first week.
Do It Again.
He should have.
Do It Again is a carry. It's a carry. Volume 2 carried over into Volume 3. That's why the numbers look the way it looked. Because Jay had the formula. He had songs from Volume 2 that was still playing as Volume 3 was rolling out. So the carryover from Volume 2 to Volume 3 was a very short window. That's a lot of carryover. Volume 2 was massive. It was massive. So the carryover into Volume 3 made so much sense. Do It Again. It was a great Lucy to start the rollout for Volume 3. It wasn't like a universal smash like that.
Mm-hmm.
it was a dope record. We love that record. It was a dope record, but it wasn't universal smash.
But you speak on formula. The formula that he used to Volume 2, he carried over on Volume 3. He used the sample for the Broadway show. The soundtracks records carried Volume 2 a lot. The Rush Hour soundtrack joint with Can I Get a, you know what I'm saying? And he had the joint with Jermaine Dupri, you know what I'm saying? The Money and the Thing. Those help move units. Now you fast forward to Volume 3, he got the Blue Street joint, Diamonds is Girl Best Friend, that was on there. He also got the Jigga My Nigga joint that was on there, which came out on the Rough Riders compilation in the summer, you know, say of that same year. So he put that on the album that came out 6 months later, but that joint was ringing off heavy everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So he used the formula to like, I'm gonna put these, and there's nothing wrong with it, but they were already tried and true bangers and hits, you know what I'm saying, to help push the album.
Hold on, I'm going to argue for Jay and say that he put those records at the end
of
the outro to the album as a bonus track, so you didn't know that you were getting those records. He did a fair 3 mil on that album, and it was a fair 3 mil. Like, how about this? I don't think the 5 mil. I look at the 3 mil on Volume 3 has a more fair 3 mil than the 5 mil on Volume 2, because that is so.
No, bro, you don't think a lot of that 3 mils off the back of Big Pimpin'?
Well, can I finish, please? My thought,
yeah.
If that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Well, so here's the thing. He had a lot of guest appearances on Volume 2 that helped propel those sales. He had a lot of soundtrack stuff that helped propel those sales. Volume 3 does not have that type of help, because think about it. When your lead single has Beanie Siegel on it, you're actually trying to help out an artist. You're not looking for the help. You have officially become the help. So there is something about the sales on Volume 3 that is more organic to me, because he didn't get to Big Pimpin' until like single number 3. He did try, like, people forget, he tried to release Dope Man as a single and it just didn't take flight.
Yeah, I don't even remember that.
Yeah, he tried to drop Dope Man. When you bought,
because I remember anything being a single.
The first copy that came out had Dope Man down next to Big Pimpin' and Do It Again on the original sticker. So he was trying to push Dope Man. That's why it's track 4. That's usually your single track.
But it wasn't a video for Dope Man. And it wasn't really, it might have been a B-side on the single, but when we was copping maxi singles, it wasn't a shit out for Dope Man.
He was trying to push it. It was on the, I remember getting the sticker. The only reason I remember is because I remember getting a copy of the album, like literally, and my manager at the record store giving me a copy. And all I'm saying is that he more organically sold that album, and I will give him that.
Yeah.
And this was Jay.
But damn, what the stickers say though? You know what I'm saying? We talking about joints that actually came out, because they sometimes put B-sides on the stickers though.
I mean, Dope Man came out. It was on the fat tape for the Source, so it was getting some sort of run that people was checking for. Because I remember being on fat tape too. But what I am saying is that he organically pushed this album on some rap shit because he had become the draw. And so what happens with him becoming the draw, instead of doing little guest appearances, oh no, these guest appearances are different. It's like he is not doing the high remix for Juvenile. He had Juvenile doing a hook. Is like, no, I'm not doing a verse for Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey is singing this fucking hook for me now. You know what I'm saying? Like the shit had changed a little bit. He had went from trying to be the draw to actually being the draw, and there are some ups and downs that come with it, but it's for the most part a solid project.
Well, for your point being organic and selling, you know, this is the point where Jay said, I'm gonna touch all regions. Like he was using the big formula, you know what I'm saying? He tapped in with Dre for Watch Me, you know what I'm saying? Like you alluded to, he had Juvenile, he had the R&B crowd with Mariah, you know what I'm saying? He was touching every base that he could touch, and that happened more so on Volume 3 than even his bigger record, Volume 2. You know what I'm saying? He branched out even more on Volume 3. And then the UGK on Big Pimpin', I still think a lot of those records are on the back of Big Pimpin', because that was huge in the South.
Like, here's what I'm saying. Like, this is what I mean about there was something organic about what he was doing that was different. Almost every chick car that I got into in Greensboro was playing that Mariah Carey record, though. I hated that fucking record.
It wasn't good. The song wasn't good.
Really yeah, but every fucking chick in Greensboro, when I hopped in her fucking whip, they were playing that song. It's because Mariah was hot, and they all loved Mariah, and it was Mariah.
That was her team.
Jay, and that's all they needed. That's all they needed. They just needed Mariah and Jay on a record, and they was riding to it. In the
That's
little the things that you do.
While you was in Greensboro, I was in Japan. We weren't playing that in Japan. They're playing. While you was in Greensboro,
you was probably drinking sake and polishing your shinobi
no, we were
blade,
drinking
nigga.
Belvedere. We would drink. That was the first time I started drinking Belvedere because we started doing the Dame Dash dance like this with the Belvedere. While you was riding the backseat of a chick's car in Greensboro.
Not the Dame Dash. It's time to
We
go.
were doing the Dame Dash dancing. When you was hopping in the backseat of Shorty's car listening to Mariah Carey, we was listening
First of all, passenger seat.
My bad, cool. I just want to make sure I got that right.
Passenger seat. Look. The work go in the back seat. The work go in the back seat. I go in the front seat. The work.
You was in the front seat of Nissan Altima.
First of all, I have you know that Geo Prism took me everywhere I needed to go.
Oh man,
took me everywhere. Shout out to all my chicks. Shout out to all my Greensboro chicks in the Geo Prism, Nissan Altima, Maxima, Sentra.
Let me ask you this, Coop, because I said I had it in my bottom 5 J records. It's better than the records that I have with it. Like, it is better than Kingdom Come. It is better than Blueprint 2 or whatever. But I'm just saying, like, if I do rank 444 higher than this, but if I'm taking Jay-Z's bottom 5, it's the best out of the bottom 5. But would you put it over Dynasty? Because I personally love Dynasty. I think Dynasty is a great record.
Yes, it's better than the Dynasty. Because
see, I don't think that.
Yes, it is. Because here's the reality of the matter, gentlemen. The best 5 records on Volume 3 are better than the best 5 records on the Dynasty. They are.
Well, I mean, you still got 11 more records to talk about, though.
Them records ain't like that on the Dynasty, fellas. Like,
we're talking ratios. Like, there's only 5.
Them records on the Dynasty are not like that. I'm sorry.
I personally love the Dynasty, but
I would put them right next to each other, but I give the advantage to Volume 3. Like, how about this? There's not a mic performance outside of 1-900 Hustler. Like, Do It Again on the Dynasty album.
Shit, the intro. What are you doing, Coop?
No, Do It Again. Do It Again is 2 people. It's Jay and Bean stunting. You just talking about one verse.
That one verse is one of the greatest verses.
I mean, so I'm gonna tell you the truth. I don't love that record like everybody else.
It's time to go. It's time to go.
I don't love the Dynasty.
I can't put Volume 3 in my bottom 5, but that's not. He don't like the Dynasty intro, and it's okay. No, we are not doing that in Hip Hop Talk.
I said I don't love it the way y'all love it. I didn't say I don't love it. I said I don't love it the way y'all love it.
So you don't think it's one of the greatest intros of all time?
I don't. I never did. I never will.
Well, I don't know what's happening. What's happening.
What's happening is I just told you how I felt.
I don't know. I don't feel like it's a real place.
No, it is. It's dope. Like, I see why everybody else feels that way, but I don't feel it when I hear it like that. Like, when people be arguing like the Dynasty intro, the Stillmatic intro, I'll be like, we having this conversation, but I can see objectively.
Oh no, that's a conversation. I might pick Stillmatic, but it's a conversation. Like, B is in the conversation, but it's still a conversation.
So how about this? For me, it's not a conversation. That's what I think.
For either of those, you put B over Dynasty as well, the B intro?
That's more comparable to me.
Okay.
But I still enjoy the B intro more too. But how about this? Objectively, I would put the J intro ahead of it, but I enjoy the B intro more. I would pick the B intro, but objectively the J intro is better. Yeah, but
okay, let's go album for album. Will you put the Hova song intro over the Dynasty intro?
I love the Hova song intro.
So you saying it's better?
I don't know if it's better, but I enjoy listening to it more.
It's good. It's good. Like all the interludes throughout. Yeah, they're all good.
Yeah,
but I think the Dynasty is his best. It's his greatest intro.
No, people say that all the time. I'm just not one of those people that prescribe to that. And every time I tell people that, they're like, "You're fucking crazy." I'm like, "Well, I mean,
I agree with those people."
I was crazy before I said that, so not finding out anything new, you know.
No, I think that I still think Volume 3 gets the love because of the carryover from Volume 2. Volume 2 was so massive, and you got some strong singles. You got Do It Again, which is a B-side single, and you got Big Pimpin', which was the massive single. That's the one that you need. Jay was able to corner the market with all of that. He was able to corner the market.
See, here's where I think Puff changed things. I really didn't understand what a B-side single was until they played the What at the end of the One More Chance remix. And then I realized the What was a record that wasn't supposed to be a single. Like the younger version of me, like in my mind, I was like, oh, that's when I realized records like the What are the street bangers. You remember when they're playing the What,
Right.
when the window's going up and they
Right.
play the What? That's when I realized, I was like, oh, that's the B side. This is the A side. Like I knew what it was because you'd heard A side and B side before, but I didn't understand it until that moment. And so understand that it's like, well, Jay was the first dude that I think we really saw after that to actively try to make the A side B side thing work. He really did try to take that formula, because I'm gonna be honest with you, like Death Row was just like, we gonna make gangster shit and everybody gonna buy it. These niggas gonna buy it. These white people gonna buy it. We gonna make this gangster. Death Row's formula wasn't like it wasn't like that. When you look at it, they wasn't just making records to fit like an A side or a B side. They were just making the records they want to make. Like, think about All Eyes on Me. Pac was able to release California Love, How Do You Want It, I Ain't Mad at You. Like, these aren't necessarily your traditional quote unquote A sides, but they're all like they're not traditional A sides.
Yes, it's hard. It's hard to pinpoint where that originated from to like really market the B side, because the B side was a joint that you got before the album, and you was like, "Yo, this joint hard too," but it wasn't marketed like that. But you talked to the videos was the part where a lot of artists sometimes would try to get both off. Like, a lot of people will reference the message at the beginning of If I Ruled the World, when Nas snapped his fingers, then they go back, you know what I mean? To If I Ruled the World. So the message is the B side. Like, but I think videos is what really ushered in marketing the B side as well. Cause it would be like a little snippet at the beginning, the middle, and then it cut back, or the end of the record where you hear like a little snippet of the B side, but it's hard to pinpoint who really started that.
I mean, you can even say Ice Cube, because Ice Cube had the album Bootlegs and B-Sides. And Check Yourself was one of the leading videos. And that wasn't really supposed to be on a full-length album. But he named the album Bootlegs and B-Sides, which I always felt was one of his top albums.
That one was dope.
The whole mission statement, you need to check yourself before you wreck yourself. Submission
and statement. He had the video. It was crazy. It was crazy. Crazy.
Yep.
So, I mean, yeah, good conversation, fella. I think, again, Volume 3, dope album. It actually came out on December 28th in 1999. Yeah, it was in the 28th, 99. Quantifiable fact, 28th in 1999.
Okay, when you say that, it makes me want to go check. Just so
yeah, you can. I don't have to check.
It was one of the very last days of the year. I remember that.
Yeah, it's here. You can check. Some people use Google. Some people use Wikipedia. I use here. I'm not going to stop you from doing that.
That's when we know it's time to go.
And I would just like to say, and people call me arrogant. Keep going.
We got a couple of super chats, and I got like 2 questions for you guys before we get out of here.
Okay.
We got a few super chats actually.
Few super chats. Mad Max, Snoopy track alone stops it from being bottom 5. I would agree. Snoopy track's my shit. Volume 3 with Smoke, I Am, and Nostradamus combined. Not combined, but it's better than both. Combined is wild. Mad Max, LL originated A-side, B-side. Respect Hollis, Queens. Okay.
Shout out to Hollis.
No, actually, that actually sounds about right. That might be the most right thing Mad Max has ever said. Mad Max, never forget that 2024, I said that you was right one time. And this is the first time you've been right, nigga. And you may never be right again. Okay, next super chat. Hollis. I got Hollis right, nigga. I know what you talking about. Ain't no Hollins, Queens.
Hollis.
I was born at night, not last night. I know where LL from. Hollis, Queens. This is Coop, nigga.
Hollis.
You know who I am.
Shout out to Hollis, man. Shout out to Hollis.
Get the money.
Queens, get the money.
You know who I am. Don't you ever super chat me, try to correct me about some origins.
He means no harm, Coop.
I will
Mad
pour
Max
this leathery.
is
I will
the
pour
greatest
this
show.
leathery.
Yeah, you shouldn't have nothing else bad to say about Mad Max when he disclosed he used to get beat to slipping.
Yeah, I feel bad for him, man.
I do too, man. I really do.
Getting a switch to your
Like you got a tick with that song come on, like a nervous twitch. Like,
imagine your parents telling you, "Yo, I need you to go get that switch as I play slipping," and you're going to get the switch. You get slipping coming on. You about to get it beaten to slipping. How does that work?
I need to know which version. Like, did you get beat to the unedited version?
Hold on.
There's only one version.
Nah, I've heard the unedited version on 2 tape.
No, I've been dealing with Mad Max longer than y'all have. It's a 90% chance he deserved to have that ass whooped. Okay.
Well, I believe it. I believe it, but man, to slipping? Oh, yeah, I got 2 questions for you guys before we get up out of here.
Slipping is traumatizing, but I cannot control his parents' nefarious behavior.
Yeah, wow.
That's not what we do at Hip Hop Talks.
That is wild.
Not a fucking counseling service, nigga. Call DFAX, nigga.
The part where you pointed out the trauma with my mama.
I can't fathom it because I was a grown man when slipping came out, so I can't fathom getting a beating of slipping. I just yeah.
Please ask your questions.
I was 17 when that album dropped. So
please ask your questions so we can go.
Yeah. Who is you guys' MVP of 2024? Who was your MVP this year?
No, my MVP.
That's the easiest question of the night. Kendrick Lamar.
Future.
Future's not a bad pick.
It's slap boxing.
Future
made he was 3 years old. Damn.
Future made
the most.
Future
in 1998.
Okay. Damn. First of all, tell him never say that again. Future made the most viable product this year. Future made the most viable products this year. He did.
Yeah.
In quantity, but not quality, because I don't think any of his 3 projects was better than GNX.
Maybe not, but those 3 projects that he did is more work than the other guys done in the last 10 years.
True. But on his own album, who had the biggest moment on his best effort?
See, that's the thing about that is that verse isn't even good. So what are you saying? Like the moment?
It don't have to be a great verse. It's the biggest moment on his own album. He stole the show. Which that's the album that we just put in our top 10.
That's one of those things that's about a war of attrition. Is that really about? That's what I mean. Is the bar in the moment really like that? Because the reality of the matter is that song on that album, that's not even one of the 5 best songs on that album. And if that guy actually does guest appearances more often, you're not sitting up there like, oh my God. It's that he doesn't do guest appearances like that. The guest appearance isn't that strong. And I said that. I'm gonna be consistent to the end. Because I said that at the beginning when I heard it. It's like, it's cool. It's like the verse ain't like that though.
But no pun intended, but both things can be true. It can still be the biggest moment of the album and the best moment of the album, but not the best verse on there per se.
It's not the best moment on the album because the best moment would require it musically to be better than what it is. It's the biggest moment on the album. Yes, there's a difference between
Verbal Intercourse isn't the best moment on Cuban Link, and people think it's the greatest feature verse of all time, but it's not the best moment on Cuban Link.
Actually, I do think that it might be the best moment on Cuban Link. What's the better moment?
Shit, Criminology. Like, you know what I'm saying?
No, I don't agree with that at all. Like,
it's a lot of songs I put over Verbal Intercourse, but
not me. Criminology. I don't have Criminology ahead of Verbal Intercourse.
I have Ice Cream ahead of it just because of what it did. I mean,
I have Ice Cream ahead.
Glaciers of Ice. You know what I'm saying? Incarcerated Scarfaces. I mean.
How about this? This is what I mean. So hold on. So if Verbal Intercourse is the biggest moment on the Purple Tape, it's validated by what you hear. Right.
But a lot of people would disagree with what you're saying though.
Okay. AG, at some point you gotta let me finish some of these statements though. What's going on is that it's not validated by your ears. It's just validated because you're not used to hearing that guy talk like that. That's what I'm saying. It's almost like a magic trick. It's like it's not real. It's not really happening.
I mean, it's kind of deep with the hate, but like
I'm not hating. I'm being honest. How about this? Spit the bars to me right now, since it's such a big moment.
No, I don't have to spit the bars. Name a verse on there that's better than Kendrick's verse. Name a future verse that's better than Kendrick's verse.
No. But I asked you something. If the moment is so big, I'm not talking about best. You said it was the biggest moment, so I'm not focused on the best.
That's a quantifiable fact. It is the biggest moment on there.
No, okay. So since it's the biggest moment, go ahead and spit the bars to me.
I'm not on trial, Coop. You said that his verse is better.
I'm just asking you. No. I'm asking you what he said, because if it's the biggest moment, that makes it memorable, right? The biggest moment.
This is like the name 5. Shout out to Tripe. I don't have to spit the verse. What you tell me? What verse is better?
Is the biggest moment memorable? No. You keep on trying to go to best. I'm not talking about best. I'll give you best.
Name a song more memorable. Name a song on the album more memorable than like that.
Okay, so I'm going to try this again, and this time you're actually going to let me finish talking. I'm asking you.
You're still not answering the question.
Okay, so first of all, you weren't the one asking me a question. I was asking you a question, so I'm going to try to.
You was asking me to spit a verse that I don't have to spit to prove the point.
No. So I'm gonna try again. This time you're gonna actually try to let me finish instead of just trying to keep on talking over.
Proceed.
So I'm not talking about the best moment. So stop talking about the best moment.
Okay.
I asked you because you said it's the biggest moment on the album.
Yes.
By biggest, do you mean memorable?
Yes.
I don't think you can even remember the bars for you to say that unless you can prove me otherwise wrong.
Name a song more memorable than like that.
I'm asking you. No. I'm asking the person who made the statement that it was the biggest moment on the album to recite the bars from it.
I'm not doing this song and dance shit, man. I'd rather go to bed.
Hold on. So, AG, if I could finish my point is that I don't even think that the biggest moment on that album is memorable enough for somebody like you who's an avid hip hop head to remember the bars, which means the moment wasn't that big.
It's a lot of. I got Freddie Gibbs as my number one album of the year, and quoting a verse doesn't have to prove that that's my number one album of the year.
No.
That's a new point.
No, you said that this was the biggest moment of the album, right?
Name one better.
Okay, and all I'm telling you in return is that the moment's not that memorable because nobody even really remembers the verse like that, and you're proving my point, and that's why I'm not giving it to him like that. You're like, name a better future verse. I'm like, no. You're saying name a better future verse. I'm like, spit the verse that you're talking about.
But if I don't spit the verse, that quantifies it as not a memorable moment. There's a lot of people that can spit that verse.
But do you?
But know people singing it word for word,
But do you know the verse though? That's what I'm asking.
If it come on, I can rap the verse word for word, but I'm not going to sit here and spit it off to prove a point. That doesn't prove my point or negate my point.
So do you know the verse though that you're saying is the biggest?
I do know the verse, but if you're saying it's something on the album that's better, then tell me what you think is better. I don't think you can name another song on the album that's better.
Why do you keep saying better when I keep saying biggest? I started off this conversation
by one of them damn B words, biggest, better, best.
No. When we started off this conversation, I started off and said, I'm not talking about best.
Okay. Name a bigger song on the album.
I did clarify myself. I didn't say best moment on the album. I said
you talking in circles, bro. Name a bigger song then.
No, I said bigger moment. You said biggest moment on the album is that verse. And I'm saying if it is that big, why are not everybody talking about that verse right now?
Okay, what's the bigger moment then? And we quantifying it by song by song?
And what I'm trying to tell you is that moment is not that big. Nobody even remembers that verse like that. You do not remember that verse.
How is it not that big if it sparked off the whole battle, Coop? Like, you're not making any sense.
J. Cole taking shots on Might Delete Later is what started this battle.
What prompted the 7-minute drill, Coop?
First of all, first person shooter is actually what started this battle.
All right, I'm done. Peace, y'all.
Good.
Yo, y'all crazy, man. Hey, you guys are crazy. Hey, man. It was a big moment. That's all I'm gonna say.
You don't know the verse either, do you?
I don't know none of these verses.
Thank you. That's my whole point. AG sitting up here talking this shit, and AG don't even know the fucking verses. And I know AG well enough to know that AG be knowing the verses when it matters. So I don't even know why he was sitting up here playing and he's sitting up here caping for Kendrick like that. He don't know the verse because he know the moment ain't like that either. He be up here caping for Kendrick. He don't know the verse. That's my whole point. He's sitting up here talking about this big moment. He's like, that's the biggest moment on the album. That's the biggest moment of the year. I'm like, okay, go ahead and spit the verse. And any other time his ass can spit a verse. But now all of a sudden he couldn't spit the verse. It's very, very fascinating how that happens. That's because that verse ain't like that.
It's the phrase. It's not the big three, it's just big me. That's the moment. That kicked everything off.
Thank you. But that's not, but so when I'm saying that verse ain't like that, that verse ain't like that. It's just something that he said during the process of that verse. That verse ain't like that.
Yeah. He said it. And it started the battle. The battle that became the biggest moment of hip hop in 2024. That's what it did.
That's what it did.
It kicked off the biggest battle in 2024.
Y'all been caping for Kenny all year.
It's not caping. It's not caping. It kicked off the biggest battle of 2024.
See, this is what I'm saying. So when you were saying that Drake and Cole have been taking shots, but it's not till Kendrick says something that this battle is set off.
Because he's the pulverizing piece of the puzzle. He just is. He's the pulverizing piece to the puzzle. He's saying it's not the big three, it's just big me. And guess what happened? That's when everything started to roll. Everything started to roll.
But that's because he responded from Drake poking at him. Drake had been poking at him.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But Drake pokes at everybody. He pokes at everybody.
That's a pause when you say that out loud.
Yeah, it is a pause. But he pokes at everybody. He does. But the person that people wanted to see go at it was him and him. Everyone kept calling this guy the boogeyman. They said this guy is the boogeyman. And he finally came out as the boogeyman. That's all it is. It's a big moment. It's why we here. Think about our numbers as a pod. Most of the podcast numbers, every podcast, not most, but every podcast saw an influx in their numbers because of the Kenny conversation. The Kenny stimulus package was a real thing. That means he generated.
Okay, so hold on. So run it in reverse. Let's say Drake and Kendrick were to actually do the record together, and Cole were to respond. Not the same traction.
No.
Or Cole and Kendrick do the record together, and Drake responds. Not the same traction. No.
No, because you know why. But you already know why. We had this conversation off air. We know why. You know why. Kendrick is a pulverizing figure in all of this. He's the one that they wanted to get old boy up out of here.
No, Drake's the one they want to get up out of here.
That's what I'm saying. Drake, he's old boy. They wanted to get old boy up out of here. So Kendrick he's a silver bullet. He's the one that could do that. Straight up and down. The fact that he even responded by saying the big three is just big me. The fact that he responded, it created an entire timeline of events to follow. It created that. That's a big moment, man. No, I don't think no one else could have done that. I don't think no one else could have done that. Straight up. We've seen it. We've seen people. Pusha T did the same thing to Drake. It didn't get that kind of traction. Infrared is one of the best. Didn't get that kind of traction. Straight up. You both can have a fair argument. You both can be right. But you're talking about something that we're talking about tonight, which is the biggest moment. Straight up. I know you don't like Kenny. I get it.
No, it's just like, pick your biggest moment.
Yeah.
Like, what's the biggest moment? Is the biggest moment the setting off of the battle? Is it Not Like Us? Is it Meet the Grant? You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what I mean. It does come off like a little bit like, oh no. It's like, what's the big moment then? It's on the Future record. That's the big moment. Oh, it's not like us. Oh, it's Meet the Grams. Oh no, it's G and X. Or is it everybody caping for this motherfucker? Because that's what it sounds like when you put all of that together. Right. When you put all of that together, do you see how it sounds now when you put all of it together? It's like, oh, no, that's the biggest moment. It's like, hold on, he has all of the biggest moments. Don't nobody have no big moments.
No, he's in the middle of all of that as well. Because you got Cole dissed him, then retracted that, apologized. You got Drake who kind of waved the white flag, if you will, and like, I'm done with it.
I will give you this. You want to know what should actually be the biggest moment? The biggest moment should be the apology.
The apology came and went. People kind of like it is what it is with Cole. Some people feel like he still can come back from it. I mean, he sold out the Garden. So
like that's actually the most polarizing moment of all of this, because it was him doing that enabled this battle to take shape in the fashion that it did. That's actually the biggest moment.
Who, for Cole?
Yeah, Cole stepping down and apologizing in front of everybody and stepping back is actually the biggest moment, because the battle actually took a real formation after that moment happened. The battle didn't have a shape or a form. It is like when a planet is getting created out of like a combustible star. It's like, well, it don't have no shape or no fucking form. So how big is the moment? It's still shaping and forming. It wasn't until Cole apologized that this took shape and took form, because that's when it was like, oh, well, now we just have Drake and Kendrick. Lock in. Before that, it is all over the place. Like all of that's what I'm saying. All of it is big moments until that moment. That's the big moment, because that's the moment where the battle took shape. Because now it is like, okay, he is removing himself for the fray. So this is not a 2-on-1. This is not a tag team. This is not a East versus West versus South or whatever. Drake and Kendrick about to dance. That moment actually happened
on the Future album.
No, that happened when Cole apologized, because what we were all really waiting for was the Cole and Kendrick thing. Sean, let's keep it real. We all talked about this. You, me, and AG talked about this. We all said that the real battle was Cole and Kendrick. So we can't pull up in December and act like Drake was the headline we wanted.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
If the headline that we really wanted was Kendrick and Cole stepping out in the big thing,
in the aftermath, yes, I'm talking about, you guys' argument was the Future album. What's the biggest moment on the Future album? The biggest moment on Future album, which...
No, I said it was the biggest moment on the album. What I'm trying to say is that moment ain't that big, because you can't even remember the verse, and we come from a hip-hop climate, and I asked AG that question because we are all heads. When there's a moment, we remember the moment, and we recite the bars. Now, how you gonna know the bars from where y'all at, but you don't know the bars from this Kendrick thing? It's because the moment ain't moving the meter like you really saying that it is, and that is the media fucking propagating some of this shit. That's my whole point.
I don't know the verse, but I say acknowledge what it done to hip hop.
I don't know the verse either. All everybody know about that verse is It's Just Big Me, but everybody know about that apology, when it happened, where it happened, and how it happened. Right.
Yeah,
that's
because
the moment.
It created where we are today. That's all. That's all I'm saying. I'm not reciting a verse just to justify why I feel like it's the biggest moment of hip hop. I'm just saying that because what it did to hip hop.
That's funny. That's used to what we used to have to do, though.
This is a different era. This is a different wave of things. Think about how this battle played out. This battle didn't play out the way old battles played out. It didn't play out like this, because I thought that Drake actually did a pretty solid job in the beginning of the battle, to the point where we thought that we had a conversation about it. We was like, yo, Drake might have a chance in this battle. But it didn't play out that way. You got social media involved. You got the sideline people now on the game field. Everyone has an opinion. Everyone, is more loud now. People are louder now. When we were coming up in battles, it wasn't like that. It wasn't that loud. We had to hear from a mixtape. We had to hear people call in to a radio station and state why they felt Takeover was losing the ether in real time. All those things were happening. We don't have that now. So people get on Twitter and they start typing Kendrick is the best. Kendrick beat Drake. And they can't give you a reason why. They just can't, because they're picking the side on who they feel the most, regardless of what that person say or not. So that means Kenny, who ended up dropping an album to close this thing out, and you got everybody around him, and he got the Super Bowl in his back pocket now. Everything stirred from that verse, that one quote that he said. Damn everything else he said, but he said that one piece that caught out, like when Jay said, "Ask Nas, you don't want it with Hove." That was the fire starter to get us to this point.
Sean, I get what you're saying. And you and I know this. And this is where I have you, and this is my whole point. Oh no, you remember the Ask Nas, he don't want it with Hove part? Sean, you know every fucking bar before that, and you know you do.
I do.
No, you do. You know you do. That's my whole point. When you were bringing up the moment, oh no, the moment is when Jay said, "Ask Nas, he don't want." Oh, that was the moment where everybody went crazy. But guess what? He was like that. The record was like that. The moment was like that. Oh no, you know every word before that. And the only thing that I was trying to illustrate is that this moment ain't like that, because when it's like that, word for word, you know. Word for word, you know. No, you're not on my level. Get your breaks tweaked. I sold what your whole album sold in my first week. I can spit the bars to you from that verse in reverse, because it was like that.
I get it.
That's all I'm saying. That moment ain't like that. That moment ain't even like that for this generation. I'm around these kids. That moment ain't like that. They like the beat. They like the beat in the bass line more than they like the record. I'm around it.
Still created a moment for them.
Say less.
Yo, this is Hip Hop Talks. Kenny got to be the MVP of this year.
Future.
And Coop is the hater of the year. Shout out to AG.
You and Mad Max are haters of the year. Hate both of you.
Cool. You the hater of the year. Yo, shout out to AG. Shout out to the team.
I ain't shouting out no goddamn body. All right.
This is it.
Mad Max, can't stand you. Can't stand none of y'all.
Mad Max, you
Bye,
won.
humbug. Horrible New Year.
Great. Okay. Yo, we year.
Santa asked me what I wanted for Christmas. I said ho ho hoes.
No, man. That's the problem right there. That's clouding your judgment right now.
Definitely just took what was left of our ad money.
Yeah, absolutely. Yo, home. I think that's all we got, man.
I have nothing else to give you guys.
Nothing else. We appreciate y'all. LP, y'all know what it is. Double, Jack, CLF, Mad Max.
Happy New Year.
Everybody. LB, L Bugs, all of y'all.
2,000 subs before 2025.
2,000 subs. We circling the block again. We will put that list out for the albums of the year based on the bracketing. That way you guys can kind of see how we're parsing through everything. So that'll be out there real soon. And we'll see y'all in 2025, if not sooner. If something drops before then, we might pop up again. But yeah, we out.
I don't want to pop out and show niggas. I don't.
Got to, man. We got to get them 2,000 subs. Like, subscribe, share. Like, subscribe, share. Join the Discord. Join our Facebook, hit us on Twitter, and we'll be back.
Yes, I promise in 2025 to show up in the Discord once a week.
Come on, man. You got to show them more than that, man. They talking about you right now in the Discord, man.
Don't nobody like, damn.
It's a show no love.
Man.
That's what they said. People said, "Coop don't show no love."
ATL. I be around the city.
Yo, man, it don't take much. You got a phone, right?
No, I'm gonna pull up.
Got to pull up.
No, I'm gonna pull up. 2025, I'm pulling up.
2025, we got to do better for the people, man. Let's do it for the people.
Man.
So, my mere thoughts, we appreciate you. Jack, we appreciate you. Double, we appreciate you. All of y'all, we appreciate y'all. Y'all have a happy holidays. Hope everybody's still eating off some good Christmas food and enjoying your presents. And we'll see y'all in 2025, if not sooner. Peace.